stops, no one knows. We're going head into the unknown. Na, 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 na.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Hi, everybody.
Guys,
Friday night. Or maybe middle of the night, Saturday morning to some of you.
wherever you are, just happy you're here.
Happy you're here.
And
Okay,
our
so
girl Mallory's here.
it was
with
my
us,
fault,
too.
even though I was going to blame Mallory before I came up here. And then I decided I probably should just take ownership of my own shit. And so
It was me.
it was
Own
totally
your
Mallory.
shit,
I
Jane.
just joking.
Me who
Hi,
has no
baby.
control.
Hi, Princess Megan Elsa,
My
Muffin
favorite
Top,
name.
CBK, Licia, Connie, Jen Lou. Oh, that's
Jen
way too
Lou.
peppy. Go back and start over. I'm actually, I feel pretty good right now, so I'm kind of peppy.
It's a pep in her step
It may
tonight.
change throughout the live. Just right now, I actually feel a little peppy. I almost broke my computer, but all is well now. All is well.
That's
Because
good.
as soon as I went to set it up, it wouldn't turn on. I was like, "This is what are you doing, computer? Come on!" It's like I'm tired of you using me all day.
You're abusing
So-
me like this.
I know you just use me all day long because I've been writing this stupid 20-some page paper. Yeah, Pepe. Oh, should I fetch the GIF? Hi, Pointer Lover. I love the intro too. I know it took me a minute to get used to the change from the old one because I was really addicted to that one.
Fire.
I do like this one a whole lot. FYI, this is just to hang out, chit chat. Let's talk about everything that we know, fact versus fiction, on the Idaho Four, because I really am frustrated with a lot of the rumors, but it is an open panel. The link is pinned at the top. You guys are welcome to come up, share your thoughts, stay up if you want to stay up, hop down if you want to hop down. Totally up to you guys. Without Borders, Miss Tia Dash, No Chains No More, Liza, my Sudub, hi Seth, Laura, oh, other
Hey,
Connie,
Dee.
Jane Doe,
I'm sorry.
Britt, Ricky. The intro is epic. I know, but that's all Christine's doing. She's got it.
She's got the
Jesse,
edit.
NorCal Jim, Jojo, Christy, Janice. Oh, I
Tia.
probably missed so many people.
And here's Tia. Hi, Tia. Make it so.
So, and I know that there's like a ton of stuff happening like all over YouTube right now. Like every Friday night, there's all kinds of lives. You know, cool shit happening on other channels I was watching even before I came live. So I get it. I get that like a lot of people are kind of spread out. They're all over right now. But before we get into the Idaho Four, I have to talk about the boy in the box. I need to know, is anybody here familiar with the boy in the box?
Of course I
Hi,
am.
David. Of course you are, Mallory. RJ, Sweet Dreams, Lisa, Jojo.
Okay, Seth and Muffin Top.
Did I say lives or lies? Lies. There's a lot of lives. There's a lot of lives. Some of them have some lies.
I
don't know,
Some
actually.
of them are probably a lot of lies to it somewhere.
At this
YouTube's a big
point-
place.
At this point, who the hell knows? Hey,
Okay.
y'all. Sweet and sleuthy. Make it so.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. I know. Every time I respond to like, hey, y'all in a chat, I think people are thinking I say, hey,
You're
y'all,
saying
because
it.
then all of a sudden everybody starts saying hi to me. But I'm like, I was talking to hey y'all, but like hi everybody.
Sweet Sleuthy. I like that name. That's cute too. Biscuits and crazy. Yes. Yes. Yes.
CBK says, yeah, I was reading about the boy in the box today.
Yep.
Hi, 1960.
Nadine's asking, where's the helicopter? Our Friday night helicopter.
I'm actually in the garage. I'll be very honest. So the other day when we went live, the neighbor was doing some crazy stuff in his backyard. So I moved it into my husband's desk in the garage. And he has like this little space heater set up, and it was kind of chill. And I was like, what the hell have I been doing? Why am I out there? Like, I should be in here. It's way better. So I just set up in here. So there's no helicopter. I got the space heater, got a comfy chair. I'm not freezing my ass off.
She's nice and cozy.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more cozy. Yeah, I'm fancying it up in the La Garage.
Well, I'm laying in bed, so it's better than that.
Yeah. You're extra comfy. You're definitely
extra
comfy.
If I was
Yeah.
in my house right now, there's the children are chaos. That's just, they're children. Even the oldest one's 14. He's in his room, playing video games with his friends. And all of a sudden you just randomly start hearing screaming, like coming from the room, and you don't, like, it scares you and you don't know what's going on because like somebody didn't make the shot that they were supposed to make. So then like it's chaos there. And then you've got the 5-year-old who's just like, mommy, 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 mom, 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 mama, mama.
See, I must have hit the jackpot. I'm in bed and I don't have any kids and I'm just chilling.
I told you that the other night. I told you that. Mallory's living the life right
I
now.
know.
Yeah, she is. She's chilling.
I know.
Amanda
Plus,
does
I'm
the
in
garage
coming to your
Minnesota.
house.
I'm in Minnesota, so I get to go watch the Vikings play on Sunday. Killing it this season for the first time since they ever began.
Yeah.
Are you actually going to watch him?
No, but I'm going to go to a bar and watch them.
Oh,
Support. We're
you
gonna
made it
support.
sound like you were going to the game.
Mm-mm.
Well, no, I'm broke.
You're gonna support another way.
But I'll tell you, this is like the first time that I can remember in my entire life that you can actually say that you're a Vikings fan without being embarrassed. So,
I don't know. I'm not a Vikings fan, so
yeah, well,
the boy I
I'm
had
an
a
Eagles
crush on
fan,
in
but-
middle school, he was a huge Vikings fan, though.
dang.
I was
My
like
nephew's
30. I'm not even going to tell you, actually. I don't know why I was about to tell you. I'm not telling you that.
Well, and I'm actually
like
more into
5 years
baseball,
ago.
so I'm a
Really?
baseball person. Oh, big Cubs fan.
Okay.
Oh, see, I'm not a baseball fan. I like
Yeah.
going to baseball games, but watching baseball on TV is like fucking watching paint dry.
It is hard for me. It is
See,
hard.
I love it. I have to pay though because the Cubs are in Chicago and I'm in Minnesota, so I have to pay monthly to be able to watch them, but I love it and I try to go to Wrigley at least once a year and
You and my pop does the same thing. Loves the Cubs. He has to. I'm not kidding. Once a year, he makes his way out there. He gets somebody to bring him out there one game. Loves.
oh,
Okay, did anybody watch soccer?
I watch the highlights.
The highlights?
Yeah.
Well, I watch soccer because my husband watches soccer, so every game has been on forever.
I had
and
an
I'm like,
ex-boyfriend that played.
Isn't there like a real popular one, and he's got a really cute little son that everybody makes a big deal about? I'm probably messing this.
Which
all
one,
up.
Beckham?
That's
I
old
love
school,
him.
though.
Yeah, it is old school. Not him, but yes, we can keep him in there too.
He does have
Love
a
him.
son though that's like 23 and he
Yeah.
looks just like David Beckham did when he was younger too.
Christian Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Is
He's
that
got
even?
twins.
He's got twins. Okay.
Yeah, but they're little, like baby little, aren't they? Like between like 1 and 5 or something.
I thought he had like a little son
I
or
don't know.
something. They did something and it ended up on Instagram and I found it. And that's how I found them. I'm like, oh, soccer.
Yeah.
I played soccer when I was younger. I also played basketball much longer. But my sons both played soccer. So Jake actually just stopped. My 14-year-old just stopped playing soccer this year, which is kind of heartbreaking because he was so flipping good.
Ugh.
It was like one of those like mom moments that you don't want him to stop doing it because you enjoy watching him so much.
Yeah.
My 5-year-old plays. My daughter tried to play
Mm-hmm.
twice, 2 seasons. This is just not her. It's just not her thing.
I'm not a
She's like-
runner.
She's a pro like gymnast. That girl can do like gymnastics. Like there's no tomorrow. She flips and does everything, whatever. But soccer was just not her thing. Now my oldest is running track, and my littlest is so into football. Everything is football. I mean, everything. He knows, he could recognize, he's 5. He can recognize, well, he's almost 6. He'll be 6 next week. He can recognize every single emblem on every single helmet, not even just the new ones, the old ones as well. He tells, and he's constantly either watching highlights of football, wanting to watch a game of football. It's crazy. I'm like, what are you gonna do when you grow up? He's, I'm gonna play football on TV so I could buy a 7-Eleven and I could get all the things I want.
7-Eleven. That's great.
That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna buy a 7-Eleven so he can have all the Slurpees that he wants. I'm
All the
like,
Slurpees
That's not
in the
fair. I
world.
can't say that with baseball.
That is so cute.
David Beckham is hot.
He is.
T's daughter's going to the Olympics, and I'm going to make sure all the Skittles are separated by color. So I was talking to Jen Liu one time, and I just take Skittles. So this is totally a sidetrack conversation, but I just take Skittles. I take a handful of Skittles and I eat them. And apparently, this is the wrong way to eat Skittles. You're supposed to separate them so that you can actually enjoy the flavor, because every single Skittle has a different flavor. And so I was talking to Jen Liu, and she was like telling me that how I was doing it was wrong, which, you know, it is what it is. And then and my daughter comes out and agrees with Jen. And so then we about, what was it, like 2 months ago, we found the bag of Skittles where there's no color. They're all like white. They're all blank.
Yeah.
I was like, we're gonna buy them and send them to Jen Liu.
See,
You gotta get your Skittle life together.
yeah, if I see Skittles, I'm just gonna put them in my mouth. I'm not gonna take the
Right?
time to split them up.
That's exactly how it is.
I don't got the patience for that.
I just shove them in my mouth. Yeah, you taste the
Yes.
rainbow.
A
Exactly.
lot of times I'll just dump them in from the bag.
I'm not even paying attention. I don't know if I have like 3 reds, 2 greens, and a yellow. I have no idea.
You're gonna get a lot of people pissed off.
I know,
The
right?
whole Skittle debate. Watch.
Yeah.
The whole skill. I don't know. See, and we haven't even talked about anything that I wanted to talk about yet, but this is how it goes. Shit just happens, and then we're 15 minutes in, and it's like separating your mixed vegetables. See, that's just weird. I don't even want to eat mixed vegetables anyway, but
Yeah, no, I don't eat them, but if I did, I'd be eating them just as they are. That's why they're mixed. If you don't want to eat mixed vegetables, buy separate vegetables.
right.
AD said you rebel.
Hi, Jax.
Jax.
What's going on with Britt? Oh, both boys are sick now? Aww.
Oh no.
David Gammon says, I ate the wrappers. I don't care.
Right.
He wanted to taste the full-on rainbow.
Yeah. And all the chemicals on those wrappers.
Pointer lover loves soccer.
I like soccer. I don't mind. Watching it on TV is another one of those. Sports are better in person.
Yeah.
All
I agree.
sports are just better in person.
I totally agree with that.
And the food's better in person too.
Yes. The whole experience is cool, you know?
Yeah. Someone said the separators versus the mouth shoves.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if I should feel offended by being a mouth shover.
That's a new one.
Whatever.
That's a new one.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You ladies are wild. Yeah, we live on the edge, Connie
Yeah.
Jones. We live on the edge. Misfits like, it was a joke. Don't judge me. I don't separate my vegetables.
Even if you do, it is just fine. You and your separated vegetables are all welcome here, and your separated Skittles, whatnot.
Hey,
Yeah, I gotta go in my phone.
Okay.
Hold on, real quick. I don't even know. I think I have wrenches here somewhere.
You
I did earlier anyway. Maybe they all left me.
We got CBK. I think BR is still here.
yeah, CBK's right there.
It's hard. My chat is like really. Hey,
Okay, so
Granny.
before we go to the Idaho Four, I want to talk about the boy in the box.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason
Yes.
I want to talk about the boy in the box is because anybody who watches that knows me knows that my goal when I went back to school and wanted to finish my criminal justice degree that I'd started, when I was 18. I want to work in forensic genetic genealogy. It's what I want to do. That's like my main goal. Will I get to do it? I don't know, but that's what I want to do. So there's the biggest case you guys would recognize from forensic genetic genealogy is the Golden State Killer. It's basically where they take DNA, unknown DNA from the crime scene, and they upload it into, it's called GEDmatch. It's a public site that people can opt in to have their DNA public. So it's not like an Ancestry or a 23andMe where you're going in to like find your own history. You can take your raw data from those sites and upload it to GEDmatch, which is public, and it makes it so that you don't have to do DNA tests at like every single company to see, like, because if I do one at Ancestry and my cousin does one at 23andMe, we're never going to find each other, right? So you could take the raw data from those sites and you put it into GEDmatch, and you can find family members from other, other sites, basically. So what they do is they take this unknown DNA. And so, for instance, with the Golden State Killer, they took the unknown killer's DNA, they uploaded it to GEDmatch, and they were able to match his DNA to his family member's DNA. And they built a family tree around that. He ended up pleading guilty, so it wasn't really as notorious as that case was. He actually wasn't the one that actually set like the precedent for it being like okay in court, like, making it legal and having the foundation. But so there's tons of cases that have come. So that was like in 2018, and now we're almost in 2023. This is becoming like a very fast-paced, big deal in law enforcement and in cold cases. So, or Jane Doe cases. So you have like the Jane Doe Project, or you have, anybody who's working on like unknown or unverified or unidentified remains. So you could take them for the DNA that has to do with a killer. You can take it from the DNA that has to do with an unidentified person. And so the boy in the box was actually somebody who was found, it was like 65 years ago. A boy was found inside of a box in, I believe it's Philadelphia, ironically. And he was aged 4 to 6. They did a sketch of him. They found some articles of clothing and things around him. And just yesterday, they did the press conference announcing that they were able to identify who this boy was. And this boy, who did not have a name for 65 years, he was only known as like the boy in the box.
That's all he was known by. And a sign that was placed outside of what we call Marconi Park. It's like almost right when you get on the Walt Whitman Bridge. And that was kind of it that we had in the city for him.
So he, so this company called International Identifiers, or Identifiers International. It's actually a local company to me. I should be able to say it correctly. And they just worked on this case. And they found his family. They found his parents. His parents are deceased. They did not name his parents, but they have talked to like the siblings, and so it's still now it's an active like homicide investigation, because now that they know who he is, they want people like come forward and they can interview family members to see who remembers what about this little boy who is now only 4 years old. And so his name is Joseph Augustus Zarelli. So the reason I bring this up is because we were talking about these other channels were live, and I know people think that Gray Hughes is controversial, but mostly because of the way he presents himself. But the guy's extremely intelligent, and I don't know if anybody can say any different than that. But one of the things that I've always appreciated about him is he donates so much of his proceeds to things, to charities and such. But one of the places he actually donates his proceeds from is super chats, and I've always wanted to do, like, when my channel's big enough and this is what I can do, like, this is what I want to do. He actually sponsors cases with this company. So him and his subscribers raise the money to contribute to this company so that they can take the DNA and the raw data and have it processed so that the genealogist can build the tree to identify these people. And so
Wow.
he has the girl who was the head genealogist on The Boy in the Box. He had her on tonight earlier. So I was watching that.
Oh, I want to catch that. I didn't see that.
So it's Parabon and CC Moore. So CC Moore now runs Parabon. She's the head genealogist over there. But there's her name is Colleen Fitzgerald, and she's the one that runs the one that's local to me.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just such a cool thing. I mean, you're thinking 65 years later, you have any idea what they had to go through to be able to do this? So it was like in the 90s, they had exhumed his body from like a pauper's grave, basically. They had exhumed his body to extract DNA to try to put it into CODIS to see if they could get any matches, which they did not. And then when they decided they wanted to be able to do this, they had to exhume his body again because they didn't have enough DNA to be able to put it into GEDmatch, to be able to create the raw data, but it was so degraded that they had to basically complete it, that they had to work that and make it. So it's much easier if it's somebody right now, that's just, somebody unalived somebody recently, you can just go get their data and you could put it in, right? It's
Right.
fresh. This little boy he was only 4, and it was over 65 years.
65 years. Unreal.
So for them to be able to do that with technology and building family trees around that it's utterly amazing.
It is. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to do. So it's just like, it was fascinating.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Do I think they're going to catch the Idaho Four killer? I absolutely do. I do not think that's even. I don't find this case going cold. I don't find this case to be unsolvable. I think that people feel that it is because of the amount of time that it's taking to process everything and for movement to happen. But what we don't see that there most likely is a lot of movement happening every single day behind the scenes that's leading them in different directions. But the amount of evidence, the amount of that crime scene that they had to go work through is immense. So it's so complicated because you have, in my opinion, I think I was talking to Mallory about this yesterday, they're working like multiple different angles of this investigation. So it's like running parallel investigations to come to one conclusion or to rule things out.
Yeah.
I don't know actually if that's how they found him. Hey y'all, I don't actually know. Did they figure him out from forensic genetic? I can look real quick.
Yeah, we can check if you want.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't remember.
actually
The one in the
think so.
suitcase, right?
Yeah, the Vegas. Why didn't I do that before?
I should know. I actually covered that case, but it's not sticking out in my head right this second. I have too much other information. Oh.
I got Oakley and Michael right now. Okay. Cairo.
You know what? I think you're right. I do think they did. Now that I'm thinking back to when we covered this, I think they did. Hold on. I'm looking.
They found Cairo's mother. She was wanted for his murder, but on the run and was last seen in California. Let me see if there's anything on the DNA.
It says Cairo's.
This one says the fingerprint matches from the two people in the trash bags were found.
That's what I was just going to say.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. There you go. Okay. Let's see. Jen Lou says there's also a girl in the box in Philly.
There's a girl in the box in Philly?
I've heard that.
I don't know about that one.
Not the same box. Different boxes.
A different box. Yeah, they weren't found together.
Right. I'm like, wait a second. Hold on. Okay. In the room.
Let's see. I truly think they've known who they suspect from very early on, putting together the puzzle pieces of their actions and inactions. I think they have a handful of suspects, in my opinion. And I think they're what we're seeing is the elimination of those handful of suspects as they start to narrow down to what's left. That's just my opinion. But I think they have a few people that they're interested in on the table.
I agree, T. I totally agree.
Jen Lou said she was in a box 5 years before Joseph was found.
Hang on.
Oh, Rainbow Mom. Hi, Rainbow Mom.
Hey, Rainbow Mom.
How are you?
I'm good. Y'all, I'm only came up to, I'm not real comfortable with this, and yes, I'm fangirling a little bit, Teresa. Michelle,
Oh, you're silly. I
but
adore
y'all,
Rainbow Mom.
y'all,
Yes.
thank you. My, my job right now is really, I make a good salary, but I do have an interview on Tuesday to hopefully move to a different organization, another university, but just in the same city, and hopefully I can get out of this. But y'all have been saving me because thankfully I'm in this little cubicle and I can just listen. And even if I can't chat, but I can listen. And most of the time, nobody knows that I'm actually there unless I get a chance to say, hey, I've been here. And I just want the creator to know, I don't know if they care, but I want the creator to know, like, hey, I was here and I listened to everything you said, but and that's important to me. But I didn't know if anybody had seen that Adventures with Purpose put out the full video of the interview with Nick.
I haven't watched it yet, but I do have the link. I know that it's members only right now.
Right. And
so
I
haven't
didn't know
watched it yet.
Yeah, I am. I'm still a member because I haven't shut it off yet. Mainly because it was a gift to be a member. My son is paying for it, and it was a Mother's Day gift for me.
I haven't shut mine off yet either. I know that some people are like, you have to cancel like right now, but I didn't shut mine off either.
Yeah, I didn't. So I am going to watch it, but I hadn't heard anybody talking about it, and that's how I got into this was with Kylie. I didn't knew nothing about a true crime community until Kylie. So it. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go.
Oh, I just but that's what I wanted to say. No, I don't think we all need to return to her, but I do hope that there are further answers later on down the line.
I'm actually happy because there's a channel called Squirrel Girl, and she's like relentless about it. Like she's making sure that like the facts come out. So I do appreciate that she's she's still keeping the focus on it. I do watch her channel. I don't feel that there's information that 30 people need to cover on YouTube. So I don't feel like it's something that I want to dive back into. Not at this point. But I was also one of the people who did believe that it was an accident. So I think for me, it was easier to wrap my mind around than some other people who don't believe it was an accident.
Right. I understand.
But I'll watch the video. I'll watch their video. I know people.
For sure, I want to watch it.
It's very controversial with the whole Adventures with Purpose thing right now, but I do still support the cause.
Me too.
Me too.
And I support the people that put a lot of time and their life into this, and those people aren't not in the videos, I guess I should say. They're still there. This is still their work. This is still their hard work. And I think that for me, it was like just saying that they didn't matter. And I always struggled with back and forth with this whole thing when it came to AWP anyway, because I feel like there's all these people's families that they helped.
Yes.
And I don't want that to be lost.
Yes.
And then there's all these families that are now affected based on what's happening with them, and the company itself, that I didn't feel like it was fair to them. So I always felt like very emotionally torn on the whole thing.
Yep.
So I just said, you know what, until I feel a different resolution in my own heart, I have to stick with how I supported and how I felt before. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Right.
Not that I think that he's innocent or guilty. I think that it's irrelevant to my purpose of why I do what I do. So
exactly. I think the rest of the guys poured their heart and souls into it. I think they came to the forefront and gave what they could, considering the situation that they are in as well. And like T said, it's the cause, it's their purpose, and they still stood behind that purpose. And the purpose was still in my opinion, from the bottom of their hearts. And I mean, 24 people in 2 years, you can only imagine what could have been. And I actually hope they come back together again. However they have to do it. The guys with the genuine hearts and the real intentions and all that good stuff, because they are, for the most part, they are great.
Everything just gets destroyed in the blink of an eye.
So
And I
sad.
just feel like it's not fair to everything surrounding it. So I don't know. And that's why I said, until I can cope with how I feel about it, I just can't make any. I don't cover it. I haven't talked about it really. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
I don't know. I know that Chaos Truckers and Exploring Midnight and Adam Brown Adventures, they found another man. So just over the past couple of days.
Rainbow Mom.
I'm so sorry. I was coughing and I muted and I missed what you said. I really apologize.
It's okay. No, I said that Chaos Divers, Exploring with Nog, and Adam Brown Adventures just over the past week found another individual. Found a man.
I watch all of them because I think it's amazing that how technology is helping solve these things. It's the same way I feel about like the forensic genetic genealogy. It's just like it's all amazing work. It really is. So
it's all things helping to bring families closure and to get victims, if they can have justice or just peace, and knowing that their loved one is now found. And the fact that, when you think about it, whether they get paid now or not, because I know that was like a thing, they still take the time away from their families and their loved ones to help out other families. And I know that's very cliche to say, but it's just the truth. And it's just unfortunate that one member can, and things can affect an entire group. But it's sad to see, because I believe in my heart, most of them have a true, genuine heart, and all they want to do, like most of us, they want to advocate for victims and just take the time to do something good. It's just, you don't find too many people.
And I don't like that people are like, well, then you take the money for trying to do something good. And it's like, we all strive in life. And I think now, especially that I'm older, like I worked a job I hated for, over 20 years, trying to find a job that I liked in that realm of work. And I just hated it. I hated it no matter where I went. I wasn't happy. And so I made the choice to do something different, and no matter how old I was, that's the choice that I made. And of course I want to make money eventually doing what I want to do. But that's like, we're all supposed to strive to have a job that we love and that we can, take care of our family. So I that's always kind of bothered me. I think that they're supposed to make money. Now, like Marshall said, there's a lot of people who thought something was off from the beginning. I guess for me, it was never about it, because I watched him from like the get-go when he very first went on Profiling Evil. I always thought he was kind of a narc. It never really surprised me that he was a narc. I didn't care because I liked what he was doing. And I cared more about what the people were gaining from him being a narc versus what he was gaining. I guess if that makes sense. So that was kind of always my point on it. So I get what you're saying. I don't know. I just don't. That's another thing, is I don't fight with people about their opinions, because all of our opinions change. So we're going to get in this big old fight today about our opinions, and then we're just going to be mad at each other forever. Like, that's just stupid.
Hey, Jeanette. Hey, Amber. Sorry for missing anybody. We love you guys. Hey, Marshy Marsh.
Hey, ATS.
Oh, that's somebody I watched today, ATS.
Love a good Amber morning live, right?
I was listening. Yes, I was listening. It's like first thing in the morning. I'm just like, yes, just let me do this and let me listen. And that's how I get through my days. It's really, there's not a level of thanks I can put on it. It's just, right now it's been a big struggle with work, and I don't like hating going to work. I don't like that. I love the field, but this, where they got me right now, it's just, it's not a good situation. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to apply for the jobs, and I'm going to go somewhere else, because
you're doing that, Rainbow Mom. When you think about it, you're definitely doing that. You're making that change. So all that's bringing you a lot of that unhappiness. You're going to be settled very soon, because you're making the change. So you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm an interview Tuesday at 1:30.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Best of luck
I
with that.
appreciate it. Yeah, I
We all
need
support
to get
you.
out of there. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I
Um,
totally
the only
get
other-
it, and I totally support you.
Right. The only other thing I was going to say, it's almost like, so with AWP, think of them like a police station or, a detective squad. Just because, you might know all these 6 men or however many people, like with the Idaho, you have all these detectives trying to find this one killer. And you can't discount all of their work because one of those cops is a narc,
Right.
or not
It's true.
on the up and up. You can't. I mean,
Yep.
those families are going to be grateful.
I'll be very
Yeah.
interested to see what the future holds for the other guys. That's kind of where I'm waiting for, I think.
I think it's
They're-
going to be really, really bright for them.
They're popping off on YouTube. A lot of them have
I know.
gained like 50,000 plus subscribers since everything's happened.
But they're not doing anything quite yet. So
Right,
They're
but
still coming
I
together.
want to
doing their
actually do
thing.
something with that.
Yeah,
Now,
the
you got the
support is
followers.
there.
Now go do something with it. What are you going to do?
I don't
Yeah.
think they're done yet. I don't
Right.
think
I want to see the rest.
they'll be
Hi,
back.
Heather. We want Brittany. Right. Brittany said that she's trying to come up, but her kids are giving her a hard time because they don't feel good. So I get it. She'll come when she can. Marshall, do they know the family members of the boy in the box? They do. They did not release the parents' names. But because I love genealogy so much, I went and figured out who his parents and stuff were. But I don't. They both passed away. I don't know if it's really going to even matter at this point. Most likely, they're obviously the ones who did do something. He's got quite a few siblings, but I think they're more interested in like looking at the aunts, uncles, cousins, possibly.
Mhm. And a lot of the investigators and the detectives that originally worked the case, they're gone now. A lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they passed away.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let me move on from all that then, and then see. Okay. So Rainbow Mom, are you going to stay up? You want to tell me what you think of the Idaho Four?
I mean, I'm still kind of in the, I don't know what's going on in that town phase, and I work for a university, so watching what the university is doing it's irritating because I know the university kind of has to, but at the same time, like, can y'all put just put those things aside and do what you got to do to help these families get closure. These were your students. I mean, I know they got to do it, but that's what they did. But no, I'm gonna get down. So, but it was nice to talk to you all.
Oh, Rainbow Mom, it was lovely talking to you. Please come back whenever you want.
Yeah,
That's
good
very
luck.
true. And good luck.
Thank you.
And,
I'll let
okay,
y'all know.
we're always
All
here for you.
Oh,
You'll be
and
in my
if y'all
thoughts.
see Lady B tonight, well, we'll probably be around. But if she happens to pop in and I don't get a chance, will somebody tell her that I live where she currently is with her kids?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, I'll tell her.
All right.
I don't know
All
if she'll
right,
pop
thanks.
in, but I'll tell her.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good night,
Mhm.
Rainbow Mom.
Thank you, y'all too. I'm gonna be
Hi,
in the chat.
Roxanne.
Roxanne. I'll do it. I'll be the annoying one.
I know, I do it all the time. I tried not to.
I haven't hit her with one in a while.
Roxanne.
We'll sing to you. Oh, Seth's going to be watching
Oh,
on
yeah.
his TV.
Watching with his bae.
Say hey
You're
to
so
the
hip
bae.
to the lingo.
Yeah. My Delana. I'm always going to say that name wrong. Delana. That is so hard for me
I
to
call her
say.
Delana.
You say it right. I say it wrong.
I don't know.
Delana.
I say what I say, and I mean what
talk to her
I
every
say.
day. Say her name.
Okay, so the Idaho Four. This case, I swear, it's gonna be the death of me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And if not,
I dipped into some Facebook groups today. Let me just tell you, that was a really bad idea. It was a really
Why?
bad idea. Because people say stuff in there, and then I want to argue, and then I don't want to argue.
don't argue.
And so I just scroll past it, but I'm like, say there's just such bad information. It's so
What do you
frustrating
mean?
to me.
What do you mean? The
Teresa
roads
wants
spell out the
precise.
name Jack.
That's it.
The roads spell out the name Jack. What do you mean?
The roads spell out the name Jack.
Wow. I didn't even know that. Okay. All
I
right.
cannot tell you, I think here's what I wanted to do. I'm going to ask you guys, what is your most frustrating rumor about this case that you know is not true, but people still continue to say it is true?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
You want me to give you my example? Because I'll tell
Yeah.
you mine.
Yeah.
Mine is the rumor about the roommate being the one who was unconscious, and the people traveling by picked up her phone,
Yes.
and they all started talking, and then they all went in and contaminated the crime scene.
Mhm.
That is my worst rumor that is not true. And it's like it's literally stated every single day on their press releases and on their website that the roommate's phone is the one that is what called 911 because they believed a second floor victim was unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how people still stick with this roommate was passed out outside.
I know. And how they
So
just
I mean,
don't
unless the cops are
comprehend it.
totally lying and then this Reddit post is correct, it frustrates me because I'm like, that is literally in black and white every day that you're wrong.
Yeah, I think it also just has to do with the fact that because when the original person posted it, it was a point of view. Like when the original person posted it, they're like, this is what could have happened to make everything make sense. And then it somehow turned into this is what happened, which it was not. So I think that's why, because it is somewhat like could have happened type of thing, even though it's never been said anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it gets carried on so much, because it does sound plausible.
Laura says, do you want that numerated or alphabetized? That the dog was in a room. So that the dog was in a room is the rumor, or the dog was in a room is the actual fact, and that the rumor was that the dog was running the streets?
All of it. I think they just need to tell us what damn room he was in.
The dog?
Yeah.
It's very cryptic. The dog was in a
Yes.
room that a crime did not occur in, and was not in the crime scene.
Yeah.
Which to me means the dog's locked up.
Right.
Whether it's locked in a room or it's locked in a cage in a room.
Right.
Yeah.
Empowering people to start events and programs with security and safety as the focal point via fundraisers versus hiding and sweeping it under the rug in fear. I agree. I agree. Did I see the new post by the Idaho Police Department? I saw their post today about speculation and these online threats and things happening with people that have been named in the case, and that people need to be very cautious because that can lead to criminal charges. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Do you want me to read it too? Or
You can, yeah. I just want to make sure that there's not something new since that came out that I may have missed.
I don't think so. They're pretty.
Did
Okay.
you see News Nation reported they had 2 good 5 seconds, one on the second? Yes. Did they finally report that? That's nice of them to finally fix that.
Oh yeah.
They
Mhm.
probably watched you.
They probably watched. I swear sometimes I'm like, that when I said that thing on Brittany's channel that day about the roommates, and all of a sudden that night there was confirmation that there was a 6th roommate, I was like, legit, like, okay, are you guys watching Brittany's channel? Because that's just weird.
They
Yeah.
do.
And then
They do.
Christine went on there and was talking about how Maddie says fuck you to either Hoodie Guy or to Joe. And
Mhm.
like within a day that shit blew up and was on every news site. I'm like, I swear to God, they're watching Brittany's channel. I mean, I know it's probably coincidence, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, this shit's out of control.
No, they're
Well, why
watching.
would they not, though, to get the ideas of something that they could potentially break as a story?
Well,
Yep.
if Brian Enton wants to like come on up, like the link is pinned. He's
Where you at,
welcome
Brian?
anytime. We can
He's
go back and
resting.
forth.
He's taking a nap, Teresa.
Yeah, he's resting.
He's right. Yeah, that's right now he is. Yeah, but you know, maybe he's laying in bed and watching Criminality.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to show his face, so he could be laying in bed.
This is true. Hey, Blue's Clues. Hey, Heather.
It was posted an hour ago. Okay, so then there is a newer one than I think that I've seen.
Okay, hang on.
This one says it was posted 49 minutes ago, but that sounds about right for the hour. Do you want me to read this one, or you want me to go to a different one?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me read Emily's comment real quick. Do you think the surviving roommates thought they were unconscious in their rooms because the door was locked? I just don't understand if that's the case, how they wouldn't see blood first. Okay, so now we're going to go from fact and fiction, and this is total speculation because this is my speculation, and I believe that the downstairs roommates were coming upstairs. At least one of them was coming upstairs, looked over that little half wall that blocks the stairs from the family room, and I think they saw somebody right there. That's my personal opinion.
Ooh, T. Okay.
And I think they freaked out because they probably said their name and nobody answered, and they freaked and went and called their friends like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also the fact that they're being so like guarded of the 911 call. Who knows if they were like they called and were like, someone's not getting up, and then they're like, holy shit, there's blood everywhere. Like,
yeah.
We don't know. It's just that's what it came in as, and maybe as they're talking, it got more info. But at the time, they're not just gonna put like someone that's unalive because someone has to come and say that too. So I don't know.
The way he reacted to the reporter asked him, like, why would somebody believe they were unconscious? And he literally, like, that sheriff is just like, you know what? I really don't know. Like, he did not have an answer. He could have said, when it's called into 911, it's called in as an unconscious person and XYZ. It's kind of protocol. He did not have an answer.
Nope.
He didn't. It would have been very simple for him to say, that's just kind of like the protocol of how the call goes down. But that's not what he said. What about the cameras catching a woman running around side of the home? Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. There's a car, and then the woman runs and jumps in the car or whatever. I've heard that one. Okay, read the thing before I go on. I know I'm missing a ton of comments down there, but read it before we go too much further.
Okay. December 9th. Investigators have been monitoring online activity related to this ongoing and active case and are aware of the large amount of rumors and misinformation being shared, as well as harassing and threatening behavior toward potentially involved parties. Anyone engaging in threats or harassment, whether in person, online, or otherwise, needs to understand that they could be subjecting themselves to criminal charges. Moscow Police Department cautions the public not to rely on rumors and remains committed to keeping the public informed. We urge rely on official channels for accurate information. What?
Because that's because they now have their Moscow POI channel.
Oh, really?
Public, yeah. Because
okay,
the police department is now interviewing him on the daily basis. Not reporters. He doesn't. Not holding a press conference.
Okay.
Instead, he's having somebody in his unit interview him, and then they're posting it on this channel.
Oh yeah, they're trying to get away from this. Yep.
So that they can say they're still giving information, but they're not allowing anybody to actually ask any questions.
Right. They're controlling it all. They're controlling the questions versus the answers, and then they're going to put it out there to say, hey, no, we did share everything, whether it was on a post, on a video, since this is what you guys like to do. We like to go view things apparently, and they're watching. They're definitely watching what sleuthers are doing on the YouTube streets, on Twitter, in these Facebook groups. They're watching. I think Kylie's case put a big red flag for law enforcement. God, how do I say this? To not expose their own departments, whether that be for good or bad or whatever. I just think Kylie opened up law enforcement's eyes to the public and how we can get to that information clearly a lot quicker.
Hi, BG.
Schmieda's here.
Schmieda! Ricky said exactly what Mallory and I were talking about, is that he's always smirking. And I get it. It's probably just his face or the way he copes, but it's unsettling to me.
Yeah.
It gives me a weird. Why is there always a weird smile?
Yeah.
I said it on Brit's channel. It gives me the ick.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me take everything that he says and side eye it a little, even if it's something that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. Like he's almost too camera ready.
Yeah.
Well, he is camera ready because they're setting this up. So he's like, okay, you're going to ask me XYZ.
Well,
And
I
then I'm
heard
going to
today
answer
he
and we're
was,
going to put it on our channel.
and I heard today he was in the Christmas parade around there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of.
And he drove, right?
That
He
has
drove
to be.
the truck that had the kids' belongings in it, the personal belongings.
Did he end up
Did he?
driving it?
I
Oh,
think that, yeah,
didn't know
they made a
that.
point to say that they saw him drive in with it and he wanted to do it or something like that.
This feels so
Huh.
PR to me. It's I
Yeah.
don't like it. I don't
Big
like it.
time. I also don't think they should have taken anything yet. I get it. I understand it, especially for the families. I absolutely do. But you never know what may be needed. Like, this crime scene is not done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, with everything going
No.
on.
Well,
Come on.
I find it interesting though, because I know reading on the Facebook groups, which you can't take as fact, which we're doing a fact versus fiction, so I don't know if this helps anything. But they were saying a lot of it was coming from like Bethany's room and Dylan's room. It wasn't necessarily like stuff from the victims' rooms coming out, other than like they said that the bigger items like chairs and stuff like that was stuff coming from the surviving roommates potentially.
Oh, yeah.
Which would make a lot more sense.
Yeah. I just wouldn't. I don't know. I just don't think taking anything from anyone and anything in that house out yet.
Yeah.
No.
Also, you guys got Oprah, by the way.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Who did it?
Schmida.
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 Aw.
So sweet.
She is. She's so nice. She's just she's so ornery.
Mm.
But she has got the biggest flipping heart, man, I tell you.
And look at
And the
that.
little
Rainbow
body.
Mom got one.
Rainbow Mom got one?
Rainbow Mom, BG,
Oh,
Diane Marie.
BG got one?
Yep.
I missed it. Who else?
Diane Marie.
Diane?
Simply E, and American Mama Bear are the 5
How
that got
cool.
the gifted ones.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Schmida.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Rainbow Mom,
awesome.
I
Thank
hope you
you.
heard that.
Yeah,
Father
that's
girl.
got to be good luck.
David says Chiefy Weefy. It's great.
It's so hard because I don't think he's doing like a bad job
No.
at behind the scenes stuff, but I just think in cases that we've seen recently, he's like one of the only ones that is purposefully putting himself in front of the camera and purposely being the face of the investigation versus just being like, y'all answer your questions at a press conference because I have to be here and
Why
tell you.
isn't there a flipping press conference? This is ridiculous. Even if you want to do it this way, then have a reporter or 5 reporters, whatever, come stand right there and let them each ask you one question. You can control that. This is silly to me.
And it's not
But
authentic.
hold on, there's a few things in the comments that I want to address real quick. So, like allegedly said, we don't know what's in this 911 call. For me, the 911 call is a really, really big deal. And it bothers me that they keep saying it's part of the investigation when it's supposedly simply a call about an unconscious roommate. It makes no sense. There's definitely something to it. There's a reason it won't be released. And if there's nothing on that 911 call, then I'm going to have more issues with Moscow Police Department because that will make zero sense that you say it's part of the investigation and there's nothing there.
I don't think there's a possibility of there not being anything there because they said multiple people talked. So it's not like they were doing one word and each person said a word and the sentence said someone's unconscious. I mean, they're all probably screaming and yelling and frantic and a bunch of stuff was probably said and it's probably a ish show and like it's probably a lot of speculation and lots of stuff. But I mean, half the time when you're in a frantic state like that, you have no idea what you're saying.
Right.
So it's like,
and I think that both those girls being, 19, 20 years old they're probably a flipping disaster. The people they call are people who are going to come over and be an absolute disaster. I can imagine that things end up being said. I do not know why it would be part of the investigation. Except for, I mean, I think like it was Jen Liu and I were on a panel one time together and we were talking about like the reasons and if it's something that pertains to the location because they refused to say where anybody was in the house. Oh, hey, look at that. Did you like, were you already up here? Or did you hear me say
No.
your name and you came up here?
No, I had clicked the link and then I guess you must have said my name at some point because I
How
didn't hear
freaking
you
weird
say
is
it.
that?
It's like
I was
you were
just talking about like the
yelling at
reasons
me.
that they haven't released the 911 call and what you and I were talking about,
Yes.
why we think they haven't.
Because there's something on that dadgum 911 call. Stop
Yeah.
trying to tell us there isn't.
Of course. And if that
Um,
if what happened was as horrific as we know already, imagine what is being heard on that call.
Well,
Releasing that, I don't know anybody's gonna be enrolling at all. Just
Well, let's-
I also think that that's probably how they ended up ruling out some of these people too.
I agree.
Mhm.
Because they do base it off of how people react and the emotions that are going on behind, with the people. So I think that could be part of it.
and I
True.
also wonder too if it's who did come over that morning, because although it is rumors of who came over that morning or who was called over that morning, I mean, depending on who it is too, putting other people at the scene can cause a lot of chaos too in all different aspects of it.
And maybe they're
Well, let's
looking at
just-
some of those people, and they can't put any of that stuff
Well,
out
have you
now.
heard like the fiction or the rumors of who they have said that was the ones that
Right.
went over there?
Yeah, let's just be honest. If they release that 911 call, right?
Mhm.
And let's say the only reason they're not releasing it is because the voices that are on that will be recognized by the people who know them. And it won't be very long. I would guess an hour before that 911 call is released. The voices on it are identified, and those people's entire social media experience
Exactly.
ever
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
up for everybody to look at. Even though the only thing we can ascertain from that 911 call is that they were at the house calling for authorities.
Right.
Suddenly it'll be something different. Do you know what I mean? That could be if it's one of two things. Either there is something important on that 911 call pertaining to that case that they don't want released.
Yep.
Or
Boom,
two,
Jen.
it's because they don't want the people on that phone call to be identified. Or three, it's a combination of both, which is what I think that it is. It's a combination of both.
Yeah,
Jen
I
always
wonder
makes
if
good sense.
I wonder if maybe someone that was on the 911 call that could be identified, they're looking at as a suspect, and it would be crazy, like out in the open, if people are like, the person who you now think is responsible was potentially called over or something. You know what I mean? Like, if they came out and were like, oh, we think it could be this person or this person's a suspect, and it turns out that person was on the 911 call, that'd be nuts.
I think it would be, but I think that's a possibility. Although I think the most likely possibility, a reasonable explanation, is they don't want those people identified because they don't want them harassed. Look, at the end of the day, this is an ongoing investigation. And I don't know how many of you guys have ever had to call 911 for like a really serious, scared out of your mind emergency. Okay. Some people are incredibly calm and focused, but I was raised that way. Other people are not. And they might want to re-interview these people multiple times because your memory can be weird when it comes to trauma like that. And walking in on people that you know unalived in the way that those kids were unalived was definitely traumatic.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Someone in chat asked if it makes a difference if a minor was on the phone call.
It could.
It could.
Like, could they not be releasing it because of that?
Like
But
just due to that, maybe.
But let's be reasonable. What adult? These kids were all of age to be drinking. All right, legally able to drink. What if there were a mixed age, like 18 to 21? I would say maybe there might be a minor there, but I think the chances of them calling a minor over, to say what the fuck should we do? Sorry, Teresa. What should
You're
we
good.
do?
I don't care. I do it all the time.
This isn't like that kid on TikTok who called his buddy and asked for help to get rid of a body. Okay, this was something completely different, and I highly doubt that it's a minor. I think I'm telling you. I think the more reasonable, logical explanation is they don't want it out in the public who was at that home.
I
Yeah.
completely agree, Jen. And for all three, well, but for two reasons that you had said, to not identify those people, they have to re-interview some of these people, and there could be something, that detail, that they cannot let out, just like with other things that they can't let out because of that detail. And
Right.
Yeah. I agree too about someone in there probably stated where someone was.
Or
I
an
can see-
injury or something.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some detail that they don't want us to know. And see, the reason they don't want us to know is because when they get a confession, a good confession, meaning a real confession, there
Mhm.
are always questions at a crime scene that detectives have. There's always something that they're stumped about. Why did it happen this way? Or something or two things, right? A good confession will answer those questions.
Yep. And only the killer has the answers, and that's why they keep
Correct.
it that, so it makes
Correct.
I absolutely understand the line with law enforcement when it comes to evidence and what they put out and whatnot. And this 911 call, if the scene and what the little bit that we do know, I don't even know if I could listen to that call, to be perfectly honest. And we listen to some crazy stuff. I can only imagine.
I recognize that the initial call was for an unconscious person.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're telling us, but we don't know what all that call entailed
And what it
We
turned into.
Correct. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. Exactly.
Yeah.
What if,
Yeah.
went to check on, they thought somebody was unconscious. They got a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened.
Some other kids ran back into the house, and then they ran back out so they could pick
Like
up
if-
all of that as well.
Like if they call and they're like, someone's unconscious, they're not waking up, and they're like, well, can you go check and make sure? And then they go up, and that's when everything hits the fan.
Oh my goodness. I can't.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Something like that. But then it would be like the original.
Sometimes with
Call.
911 calls, because there's somebody, it just scrolled real quick. You got too many people. Well, you don't have too many people, but you know what I mean. I'm not used to all this. So to look at the comments, it's too busy for me. But
Love her.
okay, so with 911 calls, it depends on the case. It depends on the situation. There are times when 911 calls are released, even if the suspect is on it before the trial. It just depends. It's all dependent on law enforcement, when they do it, when they want to do it, and why they do it. You know what I mean? Sometimes they might release a 911 call because there's something in the background that maybe somebody will recognize. Look at Delphi. I don't know why I was going to say it wrong. They had that video from day one.
Mm-hmm.
When they found the girl. It took them a minute, but they realized they needed the public's help. So what did they do? They cropped the shit out of that thing, cut that thing, and put it out there for us.
You're right, Jen. You are so right.
Mhm.
Yep.
Let me see.
Wait, how old were Xana and Ethan?
20.
Yeah.
So they weren't technically of drinking age.
No.
Oh, they
Yeah.
weren't?
No, so I wonder if no, I can't. It's hard because someone in chat had said, what if because they were underage and there was alcohol or something, that maybe the frat had something to do with trying to stop them from putting anything out if anyone was like wasted, like if they were at the frat and they came home wasted or something like that, you know what I mean? But then I don't think the frat would actually have that much power to like be like,
Right.
no, police.
They would have to catch them at the frat house drinking.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was just asking.
But even in that body cam though, he's like, it's a lot different when you guys are like in your apartments or, whatever, and you're drinking versus that you guys are out here doing this. Yeah. He tells the underage kids that, like, come on, like, don't come outside. Just go do what you got to do. I'm like so far behind in chat. I'm trying to I want to make sure I don't miss anything really good. So Brian has he goes through his theory. Brian Hoffman in chat goes through the theory, which is pretty much what I do think would have happened, but I just don't think that there's 100 other people that come in, and I don't think it has anything to do with the roommate passing out outside. If it did, then why would the cops be saying that there was a victim, that the unconscious person was assumed to be one of the victims on the second floor?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Melissa Moon makes a good point. Dispatch cannot pronounce death. So even if the caller says person dead, dispatcher cannot assume they are correct, which is right because Sarah Boone, I'm looking at you. Do the breath. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. No, you weren't doing it. Oh my God, he gurgled. Yeah.
The who just highlighted the comment before this from C-Dub?
I did.
Okay, do you want to take that?
This one?
No, the other one, the one about Dylan.
Well, let me go back to it. Is it the Dylan
Yeah.
Sus or Dylan's boyfriend?
Yeah.
That Dylan has a boyfriend. Yeah, Dylan's boyfriend is from Boise.
And
Boise.
Oh, he's from the big city.
I
Mhm.
spoke with him actually, and he told me that he's never actually been to her house when she lived at that house.
Which I find very weird.
Yeah, your boyfriend never came to visit ever?
Because he said, so what he said was that he goes to Boise State and he is a full-time student and isn't working a job at this point. And so he doesn't have the money to drive from Boise to Moscow. And so that's why he's never made the trip up there. And I don't know. I mean, that's just what he personally told me. So, I mean, you can take it with a grain of salt on the aspect of the aspect that I'm being told it first person, but at the same time, you can only take it to if you can believe him or not. But he was very nice. He answered my questions. I mean, I didn't get a sus
vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what to do with that yet. I don't know what to do with that whole situation yet. I touch on it and then I retract it. I touch on it, I retract it, and then it's another thing with the other roommate that still sits with me now.
Yeah.
I don't want it to.
Yeah.
I mean what you say.
Hi, you guys.
Hello.
Did you guys see the new article that came out today? I'm going to have to be really careful about how I say it, but about Maddie's ex-best friend and roommate who unalived herself due to the bullying of Maddie, apparently.
Yeah, I did.
And there's and did you see that it's supposedly the girl's birthday was like right after the event, after this all happened?
Are you referring to, is that Hannah?
Yes. So I just saw this article today and then I was going on a Reddit, rabbit hole, and I hate to love Reddit, but I found out a lot of other things that I was reading that I found a little odd that could definitely go in that direction, I guess. But I didn't realize that the people that were mad about the Hannah incident were mad at Kaylee as well. And that part I didn't get from the article at first.
Wait a minute, they're mad at Kaylee about what happened with Hannah?
Yeah, I guess they're mad at Maddie, saying that Maddie was the bully and that she bullied her, and that when she became friends with Kaylee, she changed and she started to be a bigger bully, and Kaylee was involved in the bullying of this girl as well.
Oh.
Well, the problem is that Kaylee and Maddie have known each other since middle school. 6th grade, actually.
But you know how you have like a best friend, and then you have like your best friend has a friend on the side, and they're good friends, and you're just kind of friends by association, but you really are like when the three of you are together, it's a crowd, and there's always drama with one of them.
Yep.
No, I don't allow my friends to have side friends. I'm mean.
Well, considering they're 20 and whatnot, they're probably going to, I know my kids do, and they're 17 and 22. So
yeah, their circles are interesting. The way that they're little social. I have a teenager. I know how it is. Yeah.
See, I'm only 28, and I tell my friends, I'm like, hey, you talk behind my back, peace out. I don't got time for that.
Girls, especially.
Well, so as I was down the rabbit hole with Hannah, one thing I did find was that her family came out and said that they are asking for people to leave that alone. They know what happened, and they talked with the coroner themselves. They've talked with the police, the investigators themselves, and to let her rest. Like that, they don't want her name involved.
Totally.
Wow.
But that doesn't. If people are mad about it, if that's not going to, I mean, no matter what her parents say, it's not going to change the opinions if there's people that are upset.
What so the one that came out on Reddit that was like, I found my roommate, blah blah blah. Was that different than Hannah, or was that Hannah? Did
I
you guys read
believe that
that
was
one?
Hannah. Yeah, I think it was. I'm pretty sure.
Did they have? But then I've also heard that Maddie was her roommate when this happened. So how many roommate was Maddie living in a house?
I did
before?
not see that Hannah was in a sorority.
Well, and that's because I saw someone posted on Reddit, and it was a thing. I got to see if I can find it, but it was like my roommate. I found her earlier this year in her house, and I called the police, and they literally just came, got her tech, and left, and nothing was ever done about it. No, the crime scene was never looked at, nothing like that. I told them like it wasn't like her, and nothing happened. And she was like, so now just know, like, stuff like this has been happening in Moscow for a really long time, and like for the past year people have been dying and the police haven't been doing anything or haven't been treating it suspiciously. And like that was the whole thing. Like, and I didn't know because I read it and some of the names were blocked out, but then she just said she referred to the person as my roommate.
I don't know if that's the same one.
That's my point. If there's like, that would make like 4 or 5 or something like that in the past like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
And no change no more. The comments on Maddie's, from what I was reading, people do assume that had to do with that girl Hannah, because Maddie had somebody who was making a lot of mean comments on her Instagram posts.
I saw
and
that
there's
too.
the speculation is that it did have to do with Hannah. And then
Maddie lived with that girl before they all lived in that house. I guess maybe last school year.
But Maddie
So
lived in the house since 2021, the 21-22
Yes,
school year. Before that, they
And
lived
that
in the
girl-
dorm. They lived in the sorority. And Hannah, I don't think, was in a sorority.
And I don't know if this person was connecting it to the girls. I think they were just connecting it to Moscow and like in general, like,
Right.
hey, this was another thing and they didn't do the crime scene, and like there very well could be someone in the area doing something like this. You know what I
Like
mean?
a
Like
serial unaliver?
like that, but she wasn't like stating it outright, but more of just like, hey, like, yeah, this is a huge thing that happened, but there's also been weird shit that's been happening for years.
Right.
Like pointing out just the fact that, hey, like this happened, but it's not the first time that something like this has happened and it's not solved. You know what I mean?
I understand what she's saying. And that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Hannah was in a sorority. I don't think it had anything to do with Maddie living with her. I don't know. I hate to speak on. I really don't know. Okay, so 2022 says that you can hear a scream. You can hear a scream in the body cam footage. Okay, so I already have that. I have that clip pulled up, but I know that Zav Girl actually got the whole body cam footage. So if you guys wanted to take a look at it, we could look through that too. I don't know how imperative it is to the case itself, except for just how interesting the timing is, and depending, I guess, what you could see in the background would be a bigger deal to me. A light going on and off at 3 o'clock is kind of, we know they were awake at 2:52. So I mean, I don't know. The names of my panel guests here. Let me take this off and you can see everybody. So there's me, there's Michelle, there's Mallory, there's Meme What You Say, and there's Jen Lu. Crime sleuth, and it's extremely aggravating. It's extremely aggravating because you have new quote unquote actual info in tidbits that's coming out throughout every day. And then you have the speculation. I'm just gonna be nice about the speculation that comes out. And then you also have the troll stuff that comes out. So it's like you have to filter through all of that just to even figure out what's real and what isn't. And I'll be really honest, this is the time in a case when covering active cases that I typically will end up stopping because I get really mad and I get frustrated and I hate having to repeat the same things over and over again that we know to be true.
Yep.
I feel the same way.
This
And
is
it
the
gets
part
so
of,
frustrating.
yeah,
Trolls
this
and
is
the
the part that
misinformation.
makes me not want to start at all.
Yeah.
This is why I avoid the open cases.
Yes.
Because I
Can-
can't,
So hard.
it just frustrates me.
You could spend
Can
most
we
of
all
your
be
research
honest? Does
time.
anybody dream about this case? Because I totally have, like,
I
at
have.
least 2 or 3 nights, and it's driving me nuts. I'm like, why? It's consuming me, but it's just it's so sad, and I feel so sorry for these kids. And I say kids, but
Because
you
they
know,
still
they're young
are.
adults.
They are.
They
They,
were.
no, they're kids. They're like barely able to, two of them weren't even able to drink.
Exactly.
I know, that was
Exactly.
so sad.
My daughter's
Ugh.
leaving for college after this year, and this case has completely changed a lot for us. You know, she wants to do it out of state. She wants to be on campus, and yeah, dreaming about this case, nightmaring about this case has just been. This case has been a hard one for sure.
Yeah,
And
mine is supposed to go to college next year, and I'm just thinking about, I've never had one before, but you know those little leashes they have for toddlers? I'm feeling like I want to go get one of those.
we are. We're putting chips in them, Jen. We're gonna be crying together next year. Like, oh,
I think the only thing that like makes me feel a little bit reassured about her going away is the fact that she is just as into true crime as I am. So she should be safe.
right. My daughter's into all of it too. I'm like, oh, right. Yes.
She'll see a serial killer coming a mile away. First day of school, she'll be like, Mom, there's like 5 potential serial killers at this place.
She's
I'm
got 'em
watching
marked.
all of them. Yeah. Here, let me send you their Facebook, their Instagram, all
about
their
to say.
things.
My kid records them. She's taking screenshots from behind. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, who's this?
That's how
She'll
she
run up
rolls.
to Google. I'm
Yep.
like, wait, do you have like? I think she has Checkmate or one of them. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, she can
You-
run backgrounds.
You don't
All that
know
Sarah
about
said her
these
mom used to
folks.
leash her.
You're gonna have to get a ring camera for outside like her dorm room.
Seriously,
Like you walk down the hallway and hers is the only room that has a ring doorbell.
I'm gonna
Me
put a
too.
low
We're gonna
jack
find
in her
leashes.
shoes.
Yeah, we're finding leashes and chips, and that's it.
Yep.
Patience on always.
Yep.
That's it. Now we're just moving there. That's it. I'm living in the house too. They're just gonna deal.
Yeah, I'll just
That
go
would
to
be me as
college
a
with
mom.
her.
Fine, right? We'll get our own room. We'll party. We've done that
Yeah.
before.
Right.
My son's 8, and I can't even let him. He still hasn't even been to real school yet. I still teach him from home, and I'm doing homeschooling now.
Aw.
The world is so scary, and he's my only son, so I'm like, or my only child, and so I'm just like, oh, I'm not ready. You're not ready. We're not ready.
Totally understand. Totally.
I get it. The world is a scary place.
It is.
Absolutely.
That's why it's so important to teach our kids, you know, not only do you have to be smart and strong and all that, you have to be very, very much logical and aware. You know,
Mhm.
it's not always, you know, Fruit Loops and, you know, Skittles. It's
Yeah,
just,
don't
you
take
know,
the fact that everyone else there is your age and
and your
you're
friend.
on a college campus as
Yeah.
being a safe place. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not saying it's not safe, but you need to be aware that it can not be.
You need
And
to be
it's-
safe. You know,
Exactly.
the people you keep around you, and even the people that you think are the closest to you. You don't tell everybody your vulnerabilities. You don't tell everybody, you know, the things you don't like, the people you don't like, this, that, and the third. You keep certain things that are close to you quiet. You know,
Yeah.
this is not home. This is a completely different circumstance, and they have to move us. So, and we just got to hope
Yeah.
that we did right all the way up till now, Jen.
Yeah.
I was on Snapchat earlier today, and I was looking at the location feature, and I always forget about that. And
You know who
I have a lot
didn't
of
forget about that?
that?
You know, Kat Melander when she busted Chazzle Dazzle out at the lake where he dumped his mom's body. Kat
See, and I was
Kat
thinking
remembered.
about that. Did the girls have theirs on, and somebody saw exactly where they were all night?
Well, I know too the picture going around of Kaylee from her B reel had her like location tag on it, even though it was for her close friends. I mean, someone could easily get into your close friends on a social media
Absolutely.
site.
Sure.
Somebody can look over your shoulder and see your friends. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But like
I've accidentally added random people to my private stories.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, no, I didn't mean to add my mom's best friend to this. And how did I even do that? I don't know. But just like how people get randomly blocked from like the chats here, things go fast and you don't realize it. Like, yeah, it's scary.
Do you know how many times when Facebook came out with their stories in Messenger, how it was automatic? So if you were to send a picture anywhere in any chat you were in, it would automatically ask you if you wanted to add it to your stories, and if you weren't paying attention, it would.
Yes.
Do you know how many
Yes, I
people
do.
were busted talking shit doing that? Not me, because I'd be paying attention.
Or
People got
accidentally
caught.
going live. I accidentally went live, like almost went live, getting out of the shower. And I had my phone on the shower floor, and I got out completely naked. And I looked down, and I was like, "Oh my god!" My
OMG.
phone's like straight up. Yeah, it was awful. I'm like, "Okay, done with Facebook. No more Facebooking in the shower."
They would have put you on another site.
I was thinking that. I'm like, you know how fast I. Never mind.
You could have made some money, girl.
I was thinking that. I'm like, somebody else is gonna get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me play this. Let me play this clip that
Yes, get us back on task.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to put because I want to hear what she hears. I think this is probably the right one. What is it? What was it? Is it 22 now? I'm going to say the wrong dang name. 220. Oh shit. It was one with the twos in the name. Okay, so if this is the wrong clip, let me know.
Some released body camera footage
Like
from police
so low.
today of a separate and different encounter very close to the home, though, on campus. Let's watch.
Can't even hear it to begin with, so hold on.
PD, all three of you. You too. How old are you guys? Taking not 21?
Yeah. 19.
19?
Yep.
Okay, is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
Yeah.
Well, we saw him talking to him, so we didn't know.
Okay, well, he yelled at you guys and then turned around because he walked up on him. I yelled at you guys, you didn't stop.
No, I did not hear you.
Right, well, let's walk back over here, okay?
Sure. Some dude from a frat or something, someone trying to.
Okay.
Can I go? Is that y'all's car right there? On the cover. Well, trying to save gas. They downgraded us from patrol cars. Yeah. Yeah, hybrid. Smart move. Smart move. Yeah.
Okay, they said it was at the 35,
Copy.
35
Any
second
questions?
mark, so that's, I mean,
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you.
19?
Yep.
Okay, is there a reason why you didn't
like
stop
right
back
there.
there?
19.
19?
Yep.
Okay, is there a reason why you
Stop
didn't
it,
stop back
stop.
Yeah.
Well, we saw him talking to him,
Right.
so we didn't know.
You hear that?
there? Reason why you didn't stop back
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we saw him talking to him,
Right.
so we didn't know.
there? Okay, well, yelled. Okay, is there a reason why you taking not 21?
Yeah. 19.
19?
Yep.
Okay, is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
I hear stop it, stop.
Yeah, that's what I hear, but I don't hear anything blood curdling.
Neither. And
Yeah,
who-
also,
who are
it sounds
they
pretty
talking
close to
about?
where they are.
Who are they talking about when he said that you were talking to him? So is there somebody else close by them?
Yeah, so that's why we can look at the longer one if you guys want to, but there's these three kids that are underage. There's another guy who so these guys are like intoxicated, stumbling around and doing whatnot. Then there's another guy who's walking, has like 2 beers in his hand. Like they're closed beers, like he's just got them in his hand, and he's the one who
I
tells
thought
the
they were
cops.
together.
Well, the guy says that he doesn't know who they are.
See, yeah, I wasn't listening to all of the volume of it. I was trying to hear for that scream that I heard, and I was kind of fast forwarding it, and I assumed they were all together. I don't know why. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, I think it sounds like it's somebody else that's like right there in that area.
It sounds like, it sounds like a girl playing around. Stop it. Stop.
Yes. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't hear blood curdling.
Curdling,
Yeah.
anything.
Well, especially too, since they know now that these are plainclothes police. I mean, if they're like, it's a girl with like her boyfriend and he's messing around and he's like, hey, there's the police, let's go. Like, you're going to be like, knock it off.
Right. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. It
Like
doesn't
an
sound
irritated
distress.
girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's annoyed.
Yeah.
Not
It doesn't sound
scared.
like distress. It sounds like stress to not get in trouble or just
Yeah.
to stop. Like, yeah.
I agree with C-Dub on this one for sure. I just think it
Me
maybe
too.
looking too much into it. I get why it's so appealing, especially right now for sure. But once you hear it and, I think it kind of
Yeah, like stop it, stop. Okay, hold
Yeah.
on. I'm gonna play it again. People want to hear it again. I'm gonna play it again. I don't think this is anything. And then I want to talk about the other recording that from today too. Hold on. So let me play this again. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna mute though, so I think you guys can hear it better. And I'll play it a couple of times, FYI.
Yeah. Taking out 21.
Yeah.
Okay. 19.
Yep.
Okay. Is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
Yeah.
We saw him talk.
How old are you guys? Taking out 21.
Yeah.
Okay. 19.
Yep.
Okay. Is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
Yeah.
We saw him talking to him,
Right.
so we didn't know.
Taking out 21.
Yeah.
Okay. 19.
Yep.
Okay. Is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
Yeah.
We saw him talking to him,
Right.
so we didn't know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it just doesn't. It's definitely not like
And the
from a
voices-
distance and somebody being unalived, in my opinion. It's too close. It's being picked up on the mic way too easy.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like
Too
she's
close.
saying a lot more, like a whole sentence after
There's-
that. And you
there's-
wouldn't be.
Yeah, there's conversation after it. It almost sounds like she's saying somebody's name, almost like Travis, stop it, like that. And then
Yeah, and I thought I heard.
talking.
I thought I heard. What the heck are you doing? Or what the F are you doing? Or something.
something
But,
like
like,
that, but
almost
it's
like-
not.
But yeah,
Yeah.
not distressed.
No.
Like someone is doing something while drunk in front of these police. Like it's the other group of people that they already talked to and they told them to like wait there and they're like, knock it off. Like don't get us in more trouble.
I was just
Mhm.
thinking that I've been with my boyfriend who was too drunk, and I was
Yeah.
definitely trying to act sober, and we've had police encounters, and I'm, the police leave, and he's like starting to act stupid, like getting loud or whatever, and I'm just like, stop, like just we've already got in trouble, just stop. Like
Yeah.
I totally feel like that's what she's saying, like just it's enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you guys heard the other recording that came out today?
Yes, that one I heard a lot, so yes, I'm ready.
I
for this
haven't
one.
heard it, but I've heard about it.
Yeah,
I honestly don't even want to play it. I think it's fake.
You think like manufactured fake?
No,
Like
like probably
something
an
else?
actual recording of something, but
Yes,
somebody.
I thought the same.
Oh, please don't tell me they're doing that too. Oh, goodness.
That's my opinion. I don't trust the source that it came from anyway.
Okay.
This is not the first time that channel's come out with crap. Please play it. You haven't heard it. All right. I'll find it on TikTok because I think there's. You want to? Okay, I'll play it. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I don't think it's real. Give me a second. I'll find it on TikTok because I'm not gonna play it from the channels. But I know TikTok has it, so let me just log into TikTok real quick.
It seems like it was like somebody else's ring footage, and then they like made it dark and made it just like a clip, and then they were like, "This is from that day," and it's like not even the same, like nothing the same.
That pisses me off. In a case like this, with all the, and with a killer still being out there, and to even think of, it's one thing to post a stupid whatever in a Facebook group. You're putting out a video claiming that I can't even. Oh, wow.
And as far as I know, it's just audio, and that's why it makes me feel like it's even more fake.
Oh, it's just
So-
audio. Okay.
I was thinking about how Zaina's dad doesn't want, or Kylie's dad, my bad, doesn't want, was upset because they didn't want reward posters posted. And I was thinking about it, like what rational explanation could there be for that? And it just hit me that when you put up a reward like that, they're already getting 11 billion tips. If you put up a reward poster, they're going to get 11 billion, 50, 1100. And that makes it even more difficult, it's going to take even longer. So perhaps they're trying to avoid even more false leads having to sift through. Maybe they're trying to streamline it.
I agree.
But I
feel
have
like
seen
they
on-
don't even need that at this point. I mean, everybody's
Right.
heard of it.
Exactly.
Well, I think that so the article came out and became like a really big deal about the neighbor, Enon Harsh, that supposedly heard a scream at around 4 a.m. And then all of a sudden today, now there's like an audio of a scream.
Is he the stick juggler?
He is the stick juggler. Okay. So have you guys heard about that? I mean, I've seen if Crime Sleuth wants to come up and play the clip because she says she has it. So, so yeah, here's the really flippin' weird part about this stick juggler guy. So Christine is out of town right now, but so she's not here tonight. But she actually had, I'm telling you, within like the first week and a half of this happening, she sent me these videos of this random dude outside of a house stick juggling with fire. And she was like T, like there's something off with this guy. And I'm like, well, who the heck is he? Where is he from? She's like, I don't know. She's like, I found it on Instagram. He's right there, blah, blah, blah. And she's like showing me different parts of the picture. And I'm like, we don't know who this guy is because his name isn't even his name isn't on his Instagram. And I'm like, okay, so she's like stuck on this stick juggling guy, right? And he's like spinning it around with fire and whatnot. And you can see the house in the background. And I'm like, okay, so I'm listening to her, but we don't really know where to go with any of that. This article comes out, I see it on Reddit, and it's like, oh, 4 a.m. I was just playing video games, drinking my tea, and, just got done practicing my stick juggling. And I was like, it just clicked in my head. I'm like, what the F? And so I messaged her. I'm like, where did you even find this person? Like, how did you find this person who's out there stick juggling? Like, literally.
Carolyn in chat said, never knew a stick juggler you could trust.
Yeah, can't trust those stick jugglers.
Of all the things, really, that's awesome, but also a little weird.
See, Dub, right? No reward posters, and I totally agree with you.
Feeding his cat.
Oh yeah, he was feeding his cat, and then so I was looking at some of the other posts and stuff, and he does. He's like, I didn't pick up cat food, so I had to get some chicken for my cat. And then I was watching some of the other videos, and he's like in his pajama pants, like stick juggling, and his pants are falling down, and I mean like legit falling down. And I'm like, what the hell, Christine, did you send me? Like, what is this?
You can't make that up.
No, and then when this article comes out about this guy who was stick juggling, I was like, there's no effing way she found this random ass stick juggler.
She would. She
That's so funny.
At least you know who the stick juggler is.
But how random is that? Like, where the hell did she just randomly find this dude?
If he's really proud.
The Crime Sleuth, it should be linked at the top. Is it still linked?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Mary.
I am not taking up stick juggling with fire. Have you guys seen his pictures of him doing that?
No.
Have you guys seen those?
To me.
Okay, I can show those. I think I have them in my. I went and sent myself like 400 pictures today so that I could save them to my laptop, and I got as far as to send them to myself, and I did not save them to my computer, so I can log into because I message myself stuff. That's the easiest way for me to do it. Like I just send it to myself in Messenger.
That's what I do.
Thank you, Mary. We appreciate you.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you.
All right,
Mary,
Crime Sleuthin's going to come up, and so we'll listen to this audio. Mind you, I believe this audio has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I think it's I don't want to fake is not the right word. I think it's probably a real audio from something somewhere. It's just not. It doesn't actually pertain to this. So, hi, Crime Sleuthin.
Hi. Good evening.
Thank you so much for coming up.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm having to be quiet because my hubby's asleep.
Okay. Okay. Is it okay to play it? Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go and just share my screen and get it up here for you guys.
Yeah. Let me get rid of this one.
I'm still kind of stuck on he used his cat for an alibi because my cat was going to be my alibi, Alice the cat, and I'm kind of concerned. I don't think Alice would snitch. Mac would.
Alice would never snitch.
But Alice the cat would never snitch. Oh gosh, no, she would never snitch.
You can't snitch my name like Alice.
Kentucky
Huh?
Lee said, was Zav able to get any of the successful overlays of the house and the 911 call with the daytime bit? So she was actually working on that tonight. That was another live I was kind of going back and forth between before I came live. So I haven't got to see her final results, but I'll end up probably watching her tonight while I do homework. Yeah, Mary said her cats would snitch too. Okay, so Crime Sleuth in. Let me add this one to the screen. Let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna mute so you guys can probably hear it better.
All right, so this is just in my little Screencastify thing that I use for screen grabs, and I'm gonna make sure my volume's all the way up. Okay. All right, trigger warning, because I don't know if this is real. Did the sound come through?
It's really light on my end. I don't know about.
Okay,
I can hear it. It's light, but I can hear it.
What's creepy about this to me is if you have earphones on, you can hear the guy breathing. Oh, it's creepy.
Yeah, I do, and I can hear it, and it does. It gives me chills.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Okay, could you guys hear it enough?
Mm-hmm.
Am I crazy that it just sounds like the background noise of the body cam?
Interesting.
I'd have to compare what's actually being said, but
Like that's the vibe I get though, is like the same, like it does sound more copy and pasted. Like someone's playing a video in the dark, they're listening and they're like recording themselves listening to it.
Yeah, over here, do you see this right here? I think that's a roof. I think that's the edge of a roof or like an eave or something. I think I'm going to go back and like compare it with photos and stuff, but I got to stop talking. I'm going to wake my husband up.
okay, no, it's okay.
I'm gonna,
Thank you
I'll
for
go ahead
coming and
and
playing it.
I'll play it one more time and then I'm going to drop down.
Okay, thank you. I'm like whispering.
Oops, go back it up. All right.
Okay, so this one says, "Stop it, leave me alone."
Yeah, I'm not sure if it says that. If it says anything, I heard more like, "Help him, leave me alone."
I thought it was "help me, leave me alone."
Help. Yeah, I think I heard the word "help," but I don't know.
I thought she said "stop it, leave me alone."
I don't hear an S myself, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
before I saw the text on the screen, earlier when I had heard it, I definitely thought it was "help me, leave me alone."
Right.
The way that
But saying "stop" makes me want to say "stop."
But at the same time, the way that she drags out "leave me alone," it's not like a distress type of yell. It's more of like, I'm annoyed.
It's like they took exactly what you said. They took the audio from the body cam. There's a way to do it. I've watched them do it 11 billion times on TikTok. That's how they mash up the songs. Like they're putting together Staying Alive and Back in Black. And they just move around and separate out. If you have the right computer program, you can do it.
Oh my God, I know what you're talking about because I
You
could
know
do
what I'm
that.
talking about?
Yeah, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. So
I'm not gonna whisper because I'm scared to wake up your husband.
I know, so I keep whispering now too.
No, I have my earbuds on so he can't hear you guys. He can just hear me.
Okay.
So we can scream.
Okay, good. Good.
I am gonna have to get
Don't make
down
her
here.
laugh though, because he could hear that.
No, I'm
Yeah, he
trying
just
to make
he
her
rolled
laugh.
over. He rolled over and groaned. So I'm gonna have to get off
Oh
here.
dear.
All right, ladies.
Okay,
Thank you for
thank you very
playing
much.
that.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay,
Okay,
bye.
I,
so
I do
this
see what
so
you
this
mean, though. It could be kind of playing with the audio from the police body cam.
it's
Yeah.
possible.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Okay, shh, everybody be quiet. We can't wake up
He's
her husband. She's sneaking up here to
sleeping.
share some stuff with us.
You guys were cracking me up when you guys were whispering too. I was like, this is so deep. I love it.
Hold on. Okay, so let me get rid of this real quick. And then, okay, so that recording is kind of all over the place. It came from a specific channel today. And you guys know how I feel about talking about other channels in any negative form. I'm not going to name the channel it came from. I personally unsubscribed from the channel at the beginning of this.
Damn, good thing that didn't happen when she was on here.
Oh, I
No,
know.
no, she had earbuds. We were safe. He could only hear her.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was pretty
The
loud.
dog would have
still.
just scared the crap out of her, probably.
Yes.
I was
but-
scared.
I don't think it has anything to do with anything, but I'm not. I can't. I just can't. I'm not going to trash another channel to say that. But I don't think it's legit. I'll tell you, it's the same. It's the same place that the edited screenshot of Dylan saying Dylan's post on her Facebook, quote unquote, that edited screenshot that we talked about a long time ago. It's the same channel.
Well, what I would say about it is this: time will tell, right?
Mhm.
If it is what the person is claiming that it is, give it to law enforcement. In fact, don't just send them the video. Give them the device with which the video was taken and let them extract that from your phone or your laptop or your tablet or whatever the hell it was that it's on, however you shared it. Give them your electronics. If it's legitimate, there's nothing to worry about and it could possibly help. But if it's
Right.
not, then you know what I mean? That's my suggestion. Turn it over to law enforcement and whatever, let it shake out.
I know. I'm still half whispering. I know. I can't stop it. I'm afraid her husband's going to wake up.
Teresa, I sent you the picture of the stick juggler on Messenger.
Okay, let me pull that up real quick. But somebody just said News Nation. Oh man, I went to pull up News Nation, but now I don't know what the heck I'm pulling up News Nation for to look for.
I gotta start just putting it on because I have it on my TV. Like I have their channel, like on like their live TV things, and I just should have it on in the background whenever I'm on here because they always just do weird things and throw it up there.
I'd like to just ask Ashley Banfield or whoever's in charge of running her show. We all have more than a 9-second attention span. Could you maybe make the length of your interviews not 9 seconds and then a commercial and then 9 more seconds? Give me at least 35 seconds or 33, but more than 9.
I'm so irritated with how the news people are doing stuff nowadays. Like, just put the dang clips out. It's just bullshit.
Right. Just put it all out and let us figure it out. Okay. If we only have an attention span of 9 seconds, everybody knows how to use the rewind button. Okay. We know how to go back.
I'm gonna go back down to the
So
bottom and see if
annoying.
somebody told me which channel I'm supposed to be going to. Did you find it? Did I find anything surrounding the pic of D? Anything new come from it? No. No, not yet. Let me get to that. I think it's altered. I'm gonna send you something. I'll respond to your email and I'll send you something.
Can a YouTube streamer look at an individual's Facebook page while live? Yes. And they can share it to their broadcast. It's share screen. It's easy peasy. I don't know why that was an important. I just wanted to answer that question.
Okay.
But
I
yes,
can look
you
at
can.
but I mean, it depends on who it is, because if you could get a privacy strike based
Well,
on
you
who it is.
Right. They didn't ask if you should. They just ask if you can.
Right.
Should
Yeah,
you?
physically
No.
can.
But can you? Yes.
The other night in chat, people were saying that Kaylee's phone was found in the kitchen. No idea where that came from. I have no idea where that came from. I hadn't even heard that.
You know what I want? If somebody has it, could you guys send me that post from Reddit where the person is writing out the story as their theory? Because
Oh, I have that.
oh,
Yeah, I
could
have
you
that
send
too.
it to me? Because I'm like 90% sure, not the outline of it, not the details, but the way, the cadence, the language that's used. I've heard that before. I just can't place it. But if I,
Interesting.
mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this picture up for you guys so you can see the stick juggling. I mean, it's like it's legit. At least the guy is like, when he's saying I stick juggle, like that's what he's doing.
He is
I mean,
the stick
Yeah,
juggler.
yeah,
I
he's
mean,
like
everybody
hardcore.
has one thing that they're good at. For him, it's stick juggling. Me, it's cracking jokes.
He can make really good cat food too.
With chicken.
Yeah,
With chicken.
homemade cat food maker.
I can't imagine if I tried to bust out some homemade cat food. I know Alice would be like, "Just give me what's on your plate, lady. Don't
Yeah, what are
try
you
to don't
doing? What are you doing, Jen?
I
Stop
don't
trying to
want
give
this."
me this.
Right. You see that chicken Alfredo you're eating? That's what I'd like. So scooch.
One thing that I've been thinking so much about is I think I heard it on Nancy Grace, but she was talking about like the police would know if the who was murdered when, or I'm sorry, killed when, because if there was, bloody footprints going down the stairs, it would indicate whether or not there was bloody footprints going up the stairs. I'm sorry, if there was bloody footprints going up the stairs, it would indicate that there was blood on the second floor before they went to the third floor, which would mean that they killed Ethan and Xana and then went up to the third floor. If there was bloody footprints going down the stairs, they would know that they went up the stairs, still came back down the stairs, and then left through the second floor. Although some people think that maybe they left out the balcony or something like that. So I feel like that information was definitely shared with their families, whether or not there was those footprints, indicating whether or not they went up the stairs with bloody footprints. Because I don't feel like they're just walking around the house. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I don't know if they would share that with the family, but I'll tell you this. When the autopsies were done, they swabbed to check to see if there is a mixture of DNA. So the mixture of DNA also would tell you if only one weapon was used, right? Only one knife was used to do all of the things. Then whoever had nobody else's DNA on them and mixed with their blood, with their DNA, they
Would
were the
be
first. Right. And so on and so forth. But they will do that. But
Yeah,
even the
and that makes
best
sense
medical
too.
examiner would never be able to say which wounds were inflicted first if there are multiple wounds.
If there's multiple weapons, you mean?
No, if there's multiple wounds, a medical examiner, the way that they do it is they typically they number the wound count from the head, and then they go down from there. Okay, so at the top is 1, and
Right.
as you work down the body, right? But they
Right.
can't. There's no medical examiner, if there's multiple wounds, can say with any degree of medical certainty, because I've been watching trials and I've been paying attention to this. They can't tell you which stab wound was inflicted first.
They would be able to give you a good idea in a situation like this, only because if it is the same weapon, the DNA transfer, the blood transfer from one victim to the next. So if
The order, yes,
I'm going to
but
use
not
us as an example because I don't even want to
okay.
talk about
But
them that
not
way.
the
But if
personal wound.
I was,
I want to be first.
okay, so if Mallory is first,
Yes.
Right.
and the knife then is used on me, the first wound is going to have a lot more of Mallory's DNA than my second wound would have, or my third wound would have. So they could give you an
That makes
idea.
sense.
But in a case of just an individual, that's much harder to do because you won't have and the only reason I know this is actually from the Jeffrey McDonald case, how they were able to track all the DNA from each space to each space and what wounds were inflicted first based upon whose DNA was found on what wounds. So like he had hit his daughter first, But then when he went back to, there was no other DNA on that wound. But when he went back to make sure she was dead, and he stabbed her, the mom's DNA was on there. So he had gone to the mom. He had used that weapon on the mom prior to using it on the one daughter.
Interesting.
So they could pattern it, but in an individual, it's much harder. I would say.
Well, we learned that from Mullis, remember?
Yeah. Who I still think is innocent, but that's a whole nother story.
Me too, Teresa, but we're going to have to talk about that. And hey, speaking of trials, did anybody hear what the decision was from the judge with Peterson? I forgot to look.
It's not happening yet. So on the 12th, she called a hearing to ask a question. And then she's supposed to have a written answer by the 16th.
Bruh. She called the whole hearing for a question.
She said, my ass is still over here trying to line up corn rake wounds. Yeah, so they actually, because there wasn't actually DNA at the time of Jeffrey McDonald, they actually used blood typing. And the ironic thing for that family, which actually worked for them, was that they had blood type. Every single person in that family had a different blood type. They would not have been able to do it at that time because there wasn't actual DNA. But because everybody had a different blood type, they were able to do it. Well, now with DNA, they would do the same concept, but they could use other things. So that case fascinates me forensically. Almost every forensics report I've ever done is on that case. Because
except for the one for school.
Except for I tried to do it on Todd Mullis, and that was a really stupid idea. Because there was no forensics there. I went, okay, I'm never touching Todd Mullis when it comes to forensics again, and that man should definitely get another trial. But that's, like I said, a whole nother story. Okay, let me see. Aw, hey y'all, says Mallory, you're the best. She's a keeper for sure.
I try.
Does
thank you, I
anyone
appreciate it.
Hear a weird background noise on panel every now and then? It sounds like a spirit box thing. My heater is going next to me, so that might be it.
No, it's a weird echo sometimes when I talk and you're talking at the same time, or you're finishing and I'm starting. Do you have earbuds in?
T's got a weird echo
That's why.
all the time.
It's because she
echo
doesn't
that
use
just kind of
earbuds.
follows me.
Yeah, she literally does though. Like even when we're not on live, she'll be talking. All of us have an echo, but she never hears it, and it's never on her.
Nope, but it's always my fault.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because when you have more than one person on panel, you got to, or even like on a Facebook call or whatever, you got to have earbuds in. Stop the echo.
I said, is that Jackass? Phoebe, this is the neighbor that came out recently and said that he believes that he heard a scream around 4 a.m. when he was falling asleep. This is that neighbor. He was up working on his stick juggling skills, drinking tea, playing video games, and feeding his cat.
What kind of tea? Was it mushroom tea? I think it was mushroom tea.
I don't know, but he's pretty badass. There's some videos that he has too of him doing this, and he's actually very good at it. So I mean, I give the guy props.
Does he have pants on? Is he wearing
He has
pants?
pajama pants on, yes.
Oh, okay. It looked like he was
wearing
wearing
shirtless.
There's a video of him in a different pair of pajama pants, and they like fall down.
Oh dear.
Why didn't we get that
And he
video?
posted it.
We should have watched that one.
Yeah, that's the one we should have watched, Teresa. What are you doing? I don't want to see these pajama pants. Let me see him fall down, see what he's got there.
You guys, I'll show it to you. Don't test me. I'll do it.
I
this a
triple
challenge?
dog dare you.
Triple dog dare. Fine, I'll find it then and I'll show you. One second.
Make sure you don't get banned on YouTube though.
I probably will. I don't know. He was able to post it. I should be able to as well, right?
Yeah, you should be fine.
Make sure that you drop his channel. You wouldn't want him to come back.
I'm pretty sure it's on his Instagram.
Oh, copyright you.
Yeah, he might. But I mean, I don't know.
Okay, let's say he does copyright. Just go back into YouTube Studio and edit out the 2 seconds, and then you'll be fine.
But you guys will probably make me play it more than once.
Or 4 seconds, whatever it is.
Okay, hold on. I'll pull it up. Hold on.
All 6 seconds, T.
Yeah, shit. We want to see the full.
He's not beating his cat. He was feeding his cat. He's
Oh.
feeding it. I think
That
he
makes
likes
a
his cat.
difference.
Okay.
Someone in
have you
chat
seen
said
the
he was
fox?
breastfeeding his cat.
Somebody said that. I did not say that. That was not me. That they say Idaho police warn of criminal charges for web sleuths engaged in harassing amid misinformation. I saw that one. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
The other guy worked as a chef and came home at around 1:30 and heard a scream around 4 when he was going to bed. This is that guy, correct? This is him. He got home at 1:30, which makes sense. He was a chef at a restaurant.
Yeah, that seems
Dude, I could
that's
see him
reasonable.
doing some skills at like a Benihana.
He could be one of the performers at like Disney World, the Polynesian Hotel.
Someone in chat said, y'all are going to make my husband question why I'm watching a pantless juggler.
Stick
Did Britt come
juggler.
back? Britt, are you able to come up yet? Do you want to come up? Are the kids doing okay where you can? Oh shoot, did I lose somebody? Who did we lose? We just lost Michelle.
Yeah, where's Michelle? And her
I don't know.
Superman shirt. She looked adorable. I meant to tell her that.
Maybe she got in trouble for us talking about pantless.
Oh yeah, her husband's probably like, you better get off of there right now. You guys are talking about watching blah blah blah.
I blame Mallory.
What? It's always my fault. He tried to blame me earlier.
It's just the easiest thing to do, okay?
Well, yeah, because I don't have anything else.
I'm not very good at Instagram on my computer. I don't ever do this.
I did it the other day, and it doesn't even look like Instagram when you're on.
I'm like, where do I even go? What am I doing here?
I have to blame you, Mallory, because I have this one gift that I send to Teresa every so often just to let her know I care. It's that Care Bears one, and it says, "Get in, loser. We're going caring." She's the only one who loves it and gets it. And if I blame her, she won't send it back to me.
That's true.
We'll have to have maybe someday we'll have our own thing, Mallory. But for
yeah, I love getting presents. So if you want to send me a Care Bear, I'm Irish, so.
Oh, you want the Luck Bear?
I like
Okay, the green one.
Bear. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let me see. I think I got it.
I like Tenderheart the best because he runs the show.
Lionheart.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is the new one as good as the old ones?
No.
No.
Nothing is ever as good as the old ones.
Nothing's is ever as good. Hold on. Let me. How do I get? Can I get rid of the side thing?
Do you guys think Kaylee's family is being quiet because they're not getting any information because they've been talking too much?
Probably.
Or do you think that they're just not sharing?
I wonder if police even were like, hey, you ever want us to tell you anything, shut up.
I feel like the PI would have told them that as well. Like, if you guys want any more information, you guys need to be quiet.
I have to agree with that. Look, I get it. If it were my child, right, I would want all the answers and I would be worried that I wasn't going to get them. So I get it. But at the same time, I can also see law enforcement's perspective where, and I'm not saying that, I'm just going to say it, the way that they would look at him at this point is he's emotional, right? And he has every right to be. It's completely justified. But I think they would be worried that he may accidentally slip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said so much already that he can't take back.
I'm trying to do it without
I'm still stuck on his means. The means didn't match. I've never heard that term used.
No.
By anybody.
No.
I mean, he's not law enforcement, so I get that, and he's not a true crime content creator or fan, right? So I get that part, but I've never, in all my livelong life, and I've heard some people say some really messed up things, like not anywhere in the vicinity of what they meant to say, but I've never heard anybody use that term ever.
Yeah, and I think
No,
it's hard
he's not a good speaker, which is actually kind of funny because Maddie's dad said, like, I don't know why you made me follow him because he's such a good speaker. And I was like, oh, Maddie's dad. I want to hug that guy.
Maddie's dad, I think, did better. He was funny. He was charismatic. I think he did better.
I thought
Alrighty,
it was really cute though when his wife said, "Calm down."
You guys ready for this?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
All right,
wait.
hit it.
I'm ready. Okay, this is a little bit too far. Oh, crap.
Oh, he's commando, isn't he?
I told you.
Oh.
Don't people watch their videos back before they post them?
Yeah,
Something tells me this guy lives the YOLO. You're going to get some sticks and some dicks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's why I be staying on Santa's naughty list.
That's why I like it here.
He could have worn like a cropped sweatshirt or something if he was really trying to go for it.
Maybe we should hit him up and teach him marketing.
That he
Why
also
don't you-
needs to add a little bit of music. Or is there music behind this, T?
Yeah, but I didn't turn on any. I left the sound off.
Was that butt crack?
I see crack.
I love this. Someone said give him some gray sweatpants.
The
This
chip
is
in the
so-
mouth.
I'm gonna hit him up and tell him, listen, you can market yourself.
Dude, if he
do
got
a
an
little
OF
yeah, do some OnlyFans, absolutely.
as a stick juggler like that.
But also if you really want to push the envelope with your OF, you light those sticks on fire.
Well,
That's
he
what
did
the
that in
ladies
that
really
other
want to
picture.
see. Yeah, but his pants weren't falling down in the other picture.
I can't do this anymore.
You gotta have
Drive
something that
nuts.
sets you apart from all the other pants droppers, and juggling fire sticks would definitely be it.
Yep.
There's a lot to choose from on OF. You want to stand out.
I'm crying.
I'm
Is
just
he
trying
in
to be
slow motion,
rational.
Jesse? No, unfortunately, this is normal speed. Bitch, you gotta watch out for the UTIs. Those haven't hit this channel yet.
Yo, it was on another channel earlier.
This is the
Wait, did you
gentleman
watch this
who
to make sure
went
that
to.
we're not
He's
gonna
a chef,
see?
and he went to work until 1:30. Got home.
Oh no, he's recognized. Okay, it was dangerously close there. He stepped out of frame. He's like, let me readjust because my other stick was holding up my pants.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not my fire.
He's looked very graceful.
Be funny if the music was most like Jagger.
He's just feeling it. This is not slow-mo. This is just totally this is what's happening in real life.
Is the music in the background like too high?
I actually have no idea what the music is, but I always get hit with something when it comes to playing music on these. So
But
I just
I mean,
left
like,
it on
do it
mute.
to me too.
I sent you his Instagram. You could totally check it.
I wonder
It's
if he
like
takes
watching the solar
requests.
system implode.
Oh my god. I'm literally crying. I just want you guys to know that my face is full of tears. I have not laughed this hard in a while.
As slow as he's going, maybe we could hit him up and he'll take requests. Like maybe one time you do, moves like Jagger, that's your signature, right? But then for when you want to
would
slow
be
it
badass.
down.
I'm telling you, he's actually very good.
He is.
I can show you some other videos. He's actually very good at this. He's obviously really put some time and attention into this.
Yeah. And when you want to slow it down, maybe a little careless whisper, You want to get all romantical, like around Valentine's Day? I'm trying to tell you, buddy.
I wonder if he
I'll
would like
help you
take
out.
people and you could like sit on a chair next to him while he does it.
I almost forgot he even had the sticks because I
I feel like sitting on the chair next to him might be dangerous. I feel like you're gonna lose an eye one way or another.
He's got a stick signature. No one is ever going to dance again.
There is one viewer in chat.
Heather said
just
you do.
played
Let's
this
get it
on
on.
replay for the last like 5 minutes.
And it's still just as good as the first time.
How could the PD possibly take this guy seriously?
He seems
probably had
harmless.
fire sticks.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
what are you gonna do?
He looks kind of like he's got the good stuff, though, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
Mm.
and that that stuff can really get you going. So, I mean, in other ways, it could make him look a lot more suspicious.
I like this guy.
I do too. Look, you
I'm gonna go
think that
follow him
he
on
is going to walk
Instagram.
into a home that has 6 people in it. He can't even keep his pants on with sticks that are not even on fire.
Maybe he distracted them with the sticks.
Oh.
I don't know how much crack was involved in the making.
I'm telling you, that tea
There
is
needs to be a
infused with
disclaimer.
shrooms.
Someone said, he said, officers, you want to see me juggle?
They said yes.
Mr. Harsh, I want you to know that we're actually enjoying this. Thing
like
that
to
you've
the
got
point where
going
I'm
on.
about to go follow him, and it has nothing to do with this case.
Me too.
Me
Right.
too, and I'm going to tell him that the next song I want to hear is Magic Man.
Ooh.
People should
Put
probably
a
start
dollar
putting
in
some
the tip
requests.
jar.
He is busy. He's juggling.
His pants are falling. There's a lot of things happening in this video all at once.
Let me see.
Oh,
Okay.
He
And
does
he's got
go out of frame to pull him back up.
Yeah.
He does. He does.
He's
He knows there's an
courteous.
issue. I mean, he actually says it in his post.
Oh. Can you imagine if someone just came into the live right now thinking we're talking about Idaho Four?
Can you imagine?
How long can he keep this? I think it actually replays. I actually have no idea. I'm not even on that screen anymore.
Wait, you're not replaying it?
I'm not replaying it. No.
This is this long? I thought this was just on a loop.
Well, I don't know. Does Instagram automatically replay like TikTok?
Yes.
You guys think I'm tech savvy? I'm not.
I thought this was playing on a loop and it was like 20 seconds.
I think it just replays.
Shmita, well, how long? Shmita went over and listened to the music. Of course she did. Shmita, it's like an Eminem song. All right, how long is this video, Shmita?
I'll take you to the candy shop.
No, it is not.
But he needs to be singing it like the singer at the end of The Hangover. Not like 50 Cent.
Or like if they sing like Step Brothers.
Yeah. Lover donated to my stick fund.
What's his TikTok name?
I don't want you guys to like come and expect that I'm going to be doing this for you all like next week. I'm not.
You might have to for graduation.
I don't think I can at this point. Maybe without the fire. I could probably pull off what he's doing right now.
Okay.
What's his name?
I accept that.
I'll send it to you.
All right.
It's Instagram. I have no idea if the dude's on
I
TikTok.
see what it is. I see what it is. I would just like to make a suggestion that you move some stuff out of the way. You'd have more room for activities, sir. It's a little cluttered. Just a suggestion. Well, get a little feng shui in your step.
For him.
Yeah, that's okay. So Shmita just put it in the chat. That's his Instagram. So I'm telling, I didn't know who this was. Christine found this guy. I'm telling, like right off the bat, she was like, "This guy's sus. Like, there's something off here." You know, as we go through different people that we think whatever. She randomly found this dude. Well, with her ways, Christine's ways. She's good at that kind of stuff. So she finds this guy, and I'm like, "Well, this is a random stick guy. Like, what the heck? What are we doing?" And when the article came out and he said that he was practicing his stick juggling, it clicked because we never knew this guy's name. We didn't know who he was. We just knew his Instagram. And all of a sudden, there's a guy that's practicing stick stuff, and it's the same dude. It's the same dude. I'm like, there's no way you found the stick juggler that now has come out. It's just amazing to me. Is Hey Y'all still here? Maybe we could come up with a new name for you with this.
His thing says the better part of this virgin flow.
Yeah. Because it's brand new sticks. These are brand new.
Oh. I was like, that's a hard flex, but all right.
It's a hard flex.
I literally just went to listen, and it's an Eminem song.
It's a hard flex.
I know.
Which Eminem song is it? I have to know because I will judge accordingly.
It's not
like even a
hit
popular
song.
one.
Yeah.
It's like one that he did with like Dr. Dre or something, like on an underground album that only he's ever heard of in his bedroom by himself.
Hang on,
at
I'm gonna
3
ask my
a.m.
iPad and see if my iPad can tell me. Hang on, because I'm on my
He's still
phone.
it's just repeating itself. Here, let me see. He's got other stuff up here. Let's see. Here, look at this one. Check this. So like the dude is legit. He's a legit stick juggler. So I mean his alibi actually, like, as funny as it sounded in the article, I was like, no, that's legit. The guy was probably doing this.
How does one find out they're good at this? Trial and error, or?
It's the song Bar Mitzvah by the Wu-Tang Killer.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
is that what it is?
Does he do this on first dates? If he does, it's a virgin flow for real.
I kind of have to
hot,
agree.
Right?
I feel like his are the only pants that are dropping. I'm just saying.
He's probably
on
a
the stick
virgin,
juggling.
and
I
so
can find it. So it was with the Idaho Statesman.
But with the right
Idaho-
marketing and the correct background music.
Let me get you the article. I'll put the link in. I'll put the link in the chat
right.
so you guys can have the article too.
Wu-Tang Killer Bees.
He must not like underwear at all, ever.
That's actually a good song. What are you, Shmeda? We're gonna have to talk. How dare you besmirch Wu-Tang
Killer
Clan?
Bees.
Yeah, that's the Wu-Tang Clan. Dare you besmirch? Yeah, let's hear that twice.
Sorry, I was logging into YouTube so I can post the link in the chat. Oh man, that shit's funny.
I'd be more concerned if it was like.
Ooh, that is impressive.
Have you guys heard the article? You want me to read the article for you?
Sure.
What article are we talking about now?
The one with the Idaho where Enon Harsh comes and says that he heard the scream.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Let me find the part because there's a couple people who made comments that live in the neighborhood that just talk about like how noisy it is typically. So then there's his. Let's see.
Here comes Shmeda. At least I knew it was Eminem. Shmeda.
It's not. It's Wu-Tang Clan, honey.
It's Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang was way before Eminem. Eminem was like, I think in junior high maybe, when Wu-Tang came out.
This song came out in 2002.
Okay, so it says
Killer
Enon
Bees?
Harsh. Go ahead.
This Bar Mitzvah, the song that he was playing, it came out in 2002.
Okay.
I was in second grade.
Hey, wait, we're not going there. We're not doing that right now.
That's just kick her off panel.
Yeah, we're not doing that right now.
I can't choose when I was born.
You don't have to announce it to the class.
Yeah, we don't all need to know. We don't all need to know. All right. So it says Enon Harsh, 30, originally from Pullman, said he lives a few doors down in the same apartment complex for about 2 years. He works as a cook at an upscale restaurant in his hometown and does not attend the U of I. Harsh said he took note of the unusual quiet of the surroundings when he got home from work at approximately 1:30 a.m. on November 13th. He's used to a noisy environment, even at that hour, he said, and once over the summer wandered into one of his neighbor's house parties thinking it was the girl's house, with who he thinks he shared conversation with. That Sunday, however, the typical weekend crowd of 15 to 20 people in the home's backyard, sometimes with a fire pit lit, wasn't there. It was kind of bizarre, he said. There was not a lot of activity. He said he went through his normal wind down routine after getting home late from work, feeding his cat, drinking some tea while playing video games on his PlayStation, and practicing his hobby of stick juggling. Then he went to bed at what he estimates was about 4 a.m. Harsh said he can't be certain, but as he dozed off early that morning, he thinks he heard a scream from the vicinity of his neighbor's home. He told the Statesman, but it didn't arouse much attention. That's a bad choice of words.
That's a terrible
Because
choice of words given the Instagram video.
Yeah, because
That
he thought
explains
of
so
it
much.
as more of a party sound, which wasn't out of the ordinary for the time or the setting. Said, I didn't think anything of it. After what happened, I definitely had second thoughts. Maybe it was not a party sound. I'm not sure what good it does for them now. He said of not previously telling the police after the detail occurred to him days later, because he'd already had an initial conversation with a police officer that Sunday where he told them that, or he reported a black luxury SUV that he hadn't seen in the neighborhood before, parked a few spaces from the front of the home when he made it back early that morning.
Did he describe it that way? Because that doesn't sound accurate.
What's
He
his
must have
first name?
actually.
What'd you ask?
What's his first name?
Enon.
How do you spell that?
Inan.
Thanks.
And I'm not
Does he
doxing him. His name is
it's
in the
like-
article.
Does he seem like the type of person that would describe any vehicle as a black luxury SUV? He seems like the type of person that would say it was a black, I don't know, whatever the fuck type of a luxury SUV, BMW, Mercedes. I don't know anybody that describes vehicles that way. If somebody says, what kind of car was it? I say, oh, it looks like a Chevy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would not be like, it was a black luxury SUV. That doesn't sound right.
Right. Yes, this guy that we're watching with the fire sticks is the guy who potentially heard a scream around 4 a.m. after he was done practicing his stick juggling. This is his stick juggling. This is the same guy, yes.
Oh, Nadine, you're right. He does look like I think him and Kai would be friends. Kai, the hatchet wielding hitchhiker. You know who I'm talking about, Teresa? Smash.
No.
Remember, he protected that chick with this hatchet.
Oh, yes.
And then he ended up on trial for unaliving somebody else. And now he has his own YouTube channel and does the video conference calling, and whoever it is records it and puts it up on his YouTube channel, and he gives out legal advice. He actually did a pretty good job explaining what a federal habeas corpus is. He's mostly accurate.
Huh.
I was a little impressed with
the
that.
break says that ain't no coincidence. Y'all need to wake up. This guy will be arrested soon. Are you talking about this guy that's on TV right now?
Careless Whisper?
Somebody said Zach. What did Zach say in chat? I didn't even see a Jack. So what's the chance that a known psychic says the killer looks like he's from the Middle East and a cook? Now, days later, I don't know what known psychic said that. I don't know. I haven't heard that. You have to tell me which one.
I see
This guy did not hurt anybody. I don't know. I definitely could. I mean, he's an interesting feller.
Here, everyone was talking about Zach in chat.
Yeah, I don't see a Zach in chat though.
He said, in all caps, he said, Jack Showalter, are we allowed to say their full names?
Yeah, you're fine.
Is innocent. He was hungry, went to food truck, but didn't have money. He joked about Kaylee being cold. She said, F off. He went back to the frat house. Later, he dropped Xana and Ethan off.
Okay, well, that doesn't make sense because he wouldn't have been at that frat house. That's not where he lived. He was in a different fraternity. But Zach was here the other day, and he is adamant about Jack S's innocence. I don't know. I don't really know why. I don't know the purpose behind it because I don't actually think Jack S has anything to do with anything. So I feel like Zach wastes his time coming into this chat when I'm sure he has plenty of other people to go convince. So Zach, you're welcome here, but you don't really. You're fighting your own fight there, buddy.
Hey, T, can you check the back chat too?
Yeah.
And also, all caps feels,
Yeah.
kind of
Some people have a hard
aggressive.
time seeing things.
Well,
I don't know,
it feels
it's
a
just,
little
I don't,
aggressive, and we are having a totally civilized conversation about Fire Stick Guy right here, okay?
Civilized.
We're completely civilized. We're not heathens up in this mug. Come on, y'all.
Beautiful, beautiful Kate does crime.
Hey, Kate.
His name was like there was a typo and they put an extra N when they were putting E in, and they were like, yeah, it's okay.
Who is the axe juggler in legal advice? Zach or Jack? Are you a troll? Yeah, Zach, Jack. This rhymes with Jack. I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense because he's trying to convince people Jack's innocent, but that's why I said he's just wasting his time here. We are an accepting bunch. Yeah, Zach, you're like welcome to hang out, but you don't have to be so adamant about your beliefs and stuff.
Right. We're going to respect you for him. I mean,
Stop, drop, and roll. Is that a thing?
I don't think
Mallory's
that's been
dancing
updated. I think.
pajamas.
What?
You know what we need to do? I'm going to make an edit of this and make him make the background music, but the song from Bananas and Pajamas. Bananas and Pajamas.
No, I met them when I was younger and they made me cry.
Well, we're not going to put the actual Bananas and Pajamas, just the song. It's called immersion therapy, Mallory. I'm helping you.
Oh, thanks.
See how I go around just spreading joy and wonderful everywhere I go?
Yeah, that's not going to cause any extra trauma.
Maybe you're ready for it now.
I
Okay.
get reminded every time someone shows me the picture of it. So
I would never show you the picture. That's too much.
well, I
That's too far.
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Positively, Parker. Yeah. Now she's a lawyer. I thought she was an RN. Now she's a lawyer. The coroner. Did you guys see that? She's the coroner, but she was an RN, and she's now also the defense attorney for the guy who got arrested the other day.
Oh, for the DV?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, but a coroner aren't coroners. Yeah, coroners are just like they handle the paperwork. They don't actually do anything. They're in charge of the body, right? The bot or whatever, bot multiple, whatever it is. The medical examiner is the one. They sign the paperwork and everything, but the medical examiner is the one that does the autopsy. So, I mean, maybe it just doesn't pay too good, and she had to moonlight.
Yeah.
Somebody in
Zach
chat said that.
Oh, here's Zach. Zach says this case is going to go cold. The killer is long gone. There's no evidence because they probably used trash bags over their shoes with gloves on, with a towel while stabbing to avoid blood splatter. It's spatter. There's no L, FYI. And I highly doubt this random person's walking around with trash bags around their feet and used a towel that's just now disappeared. And I do not believe the case is going to go cold, but good luck on your quest.
Also, a towel would only prevent spatter from getting on the person who is holding the towel's hand. If you hit an artery and the blood is pumping, it's going to spray, and you can't control that. Every time the heart pumps, it sprays. So no, sorry. It's impossible for there to be something like that
Right.
and it be
I agree.
foolproof. Could somebody theoretically do it? Yes, but it wouldn't prevent anything. It might prevent less, but it still wouldn't. When you have an up close and personal attack like that, you exchange something. It happens.
I do. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Betty Joe, nobody's making fun of. I think the guy's got some talent. I do.
I do
really
too.
do. Not making fun of him, just kind of making fun of the whole situation with his pajama pants. But he kind of makes fun of himself. So I mean, I think we're kind of laughing with him. But no blood trail outside. We don't technically know that. There are pictures of them with evidence markers outside. So, I mean, they definitely found something outside that they thought worthy of taking the pictures, but I don't know. I don't know if it's
You know what would be interesting to look up? Like sunrise and sunset. So, like what time does it start to get light? You know how you have the darkest of the, it's when it's the darkest it's going to be at night. And obviously, because the earth rotates, you know what I'm saying? When it would start to get light. Because I'm curious about that. I think if you were to do something like this, it would be next to impossible to not get a single drop outside.
I agree.
Because I don't think you'd be able to even see it.
The police told y'all to stop.
I must have missed that call, but
I haven't gotten that call, and I'm not harassing anybody, so I don't know. Let's see. I think he is pretty coordinated.
I'm honestly impressed with when anyone has a talent and like is very confident in it to like post it on social media where there are vultures everywhere. Like I find that extremely impressive, like on the real, like not even being sarcastic.
We've already doubled his followers too on Instagram. Since I followed him, he's in the last like 10 minutes, he's already gotten like 16 more followers.
I like this guy.
This is what I like about him. He is aware that his pants are falling off, right? But he sticks with it. He keeps doing it. And what's more to the point, he uploaded it.
Yeah.
Even though, you know what I mean? Like like I don't see anything. I don't have anything negative to say. I did suggest I gave constructive criticism, like moving furniture so you would have more room for activities. Maybe different.
That's constructive. Yeah, that's
it is.
Even underwear that would work.
Or drawstring pajamas.
Yeah. I mean,
or real pants.
A men's legging.
I was gonna say, even just like maybe tight pants at this point, it'd be the same type of thing, but
yeah. Just something so Instagram doesn't. Music choices, yeah. Suspenders, that's an excellent idea. Yeah, all these things are all constructed. Like I'm enjoying the visuals. Like I'm not going to sit around and juggle fire anywhere in the vicinity of my body. I trip over air. Are you kidding me? I'm impressed with this guy. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, 100%. It just makes it 10 times better that we also got to see his butt while he was doing it.
Oh, I'm going to be really honest. I mean, if this guy lives in the vicinity, he needs to be looked at. Everybody who lives in the vicinity needs to be looked at. Because especially when my theory is the person is actually right behind, is very close to behind their house. That's where I think the person came from. So that's not a personal attack. I think they need to be looking at every single person who lives in that area and finding out everything they can about where they were, what they were doing, and what their cat has to say.
When I was I guess I was 19, yeah, because I had my second son. I came home from my parents' house on Christmas Day, and there was a ton of cop cars and police activity, okay? And it turns out that the person who lived in the apartment complex very close to me had been unalived in her home. And she was not the first victim, she was the second victim. The other victim lived upstairs from me. And this happened in Arlington. You can look it up. They called him the bathtub killer. And
Okay.
I remember.
Actually, I've heard of that.
Yeah, Christine Vu was the first victim. And for the life of me, I guess old age, song lyrics, and naps have taken the other victim's name. But I remember when the police came around and took DNA samples from all the males in the apartment complex. And this would have been 96.
Yep.
So, I mean, if it were me, and I just am glad that I wasn't home. You know what I mean? Like I had been at my parents' house. And so I've been living in an area in an apartment complex where there were 2 murders, and I remember how that feels. And I was willing to talk to and I never talked to cops, but even me, I was willing to be like, this is where I was, this is who I am, all the
Wendy.
things.
Her name was Wendy.
Wendy.
Yeah.
And it turns out that he was actually a serial SAer. That's how he started. And he worked, they called him the UTA SAer. And it turned out that he was a maintenance man who worked for the apartment complex. It was 2 separate complexes. They were called Pear Tree, Plum Tree. They were on opposite sides. It was one big thing, but there was a street that divided them. So one side of the street was Pear Tree, the other side was Plum Tree.
Huh.
Yeah.
Kind of like King and Queen.
Do what?
I said kind of like King and Queen Road.
Yeah, like that. But Pear Tree, Plum Tree, because it's Texas.
Damn.
Yeah. And I remember everybody all the women were scared and all the men were cooperative.
Huh.
And it took a long time for them to run all of those swabs, because they ran his too. And it's when they ran his that they connected him not only to those 2 murders, but they also connected him to the unsolved, because UTA is on Cooper. It was right there. Like 15 minutes away.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they were telling you about the sunrise that morning. Sunrise was at 6:48. Nautical twilight typically begins 50 minutes before sunrise.
Okay.
And that's when it's light before the sunrise. So it was light around 6 a.m.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because it doesn't seem like that neighborhood is either well lit or dark. It's somewhere in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just curious what the visibility, because it would be almost impossible. This case made me go back and revisit the Cassie Stoddard case.
What's
the
that
Scream
one?
Killers. That's the 2.
Oh,
that's those.
yeah.
Brian, what's his name, and yeah, and watch their homemade video that they watched, because I think I was in Alex's and somebody mentioned Scream, but to me, I actually thought that what happened in this situation was more like Black Christmas, if you're going to relate it to a horror movie. Because all in one house.
Lynn.
Scream was kind of spread out.
Hi, Austin.
So yeah.
So, do you still want to talk about fact versus fiction, T?
We started that a while ago. I gave you guys my example, and I don't think I got anybody else's, did I?
Well, I have one that people were saying in chat, like an hour and a half ago. And it was the one about how Dylan has a lawyer and is refusing her DNA. Have you heard that?
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that. Where'd that come from?
That was a rumor as well. It's not up. I'm sure it started on Reddit or something like that. But that was a rumor. What was another rumor that I read in here that someone said was fact? Dang it. I don't remember.
So for anybody who wasn't here earlier when I asked this question, because it was a while ago and we went totally on a different track, was what is the one thing that is rumor in this case that continues to be spread as fact, but you absolutely know is wrong? That was the question. So if you guys have any thoughts on that, let us know.
That we know is wrong for a fact, or that we think in our head is wrong?
That we know is wrong, or I personally, I would like to know what you know is wrong versus what you hear, because like for my example was the roommate outside, when law enforcement says that the roommate's phone was used to call 911 because they thought a second floor victim was actually unconscious. And everybody still continues to think that the Reddit post of the roommate who went outside passed out and then that person was unconscious. But law enforcement states it completely differently. So that was mine, because I don't know why we continue to go down the path that it's a roommate who went outside if law enforcement is stating the call was made because they thought a second floor victim was unconscious. That would not be a roommate going outside being unconscious.
Right.
No, yeah, that we know. For me, it was like, what do we know is
that has been debunked.
Yeah,
but people are still running with it as fact.
Right. Or okay, so here's one. Here's a big one that seems to be the fact that the coroner actually created this one herself. So when they said that all the victims were in their beds, and then she comes out and says not all the victims were in their beds.
Yeah. Or the fact that Jack S is in Africa.
Yeah. Where did that come from? How do we have any idea that the person that Jack S is in Africa? Like why do we think that?
It's so interesting to me, the different rumors that come out just from like Reddit. Like someone randomly puts a something off on Reddit, and then what decides to take off and what doesn't. Like that is nuts to me.
Reddit stopped Daryl Brooks's sentencing or closing argument. Was it sentencing? Yes, victim impact statements. Reddit stopped Daryl Brooks's victim impact statements because somebody on Reddit posted what did they do? Somebody called into the jail or called to the courthouse. That's what stopped the victim impact statements. But before the closing arguments were made, there was a post on Reddit claiming something or other, that it was a juror, and they weren't supposed to be they knew they weren't supposed to be posting, but they were anyway, and the whole case is a sham and it's all corrupt, blah 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 blah. And it had to be investigated.
I think a big part of this problem is that this case has so many weird factors to it that anything that's said can be true no matter how outlandish, because it's just going in so many directions.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that law enforcement is doing what they should be doing and being incredibly tight-lipped and only giving out small details, right? Like they were called for, an unconscious person, right? That's what the 911 call started off as. And so because people are so hungry for new information, that any information, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's sad. I feel the same way. Like the selfish part of me wants more information, but also it's like I want them to be quiet for the integrity of the case. But I'm just like everybody else. Like I want to know more too, but I don't. At the same time, it's so weird.
I agree with you, and I'm at the point too, though, where it's like either tell us everything or tell us absolutely nothing. Don't give us little nuggets.
1,000,000%.
Or that like little nuggets of information that can be interpreted in 100 different ways, Because if you think about it, all of these rumors are coming off of the one or two words that were said in a press conference that didn't need to be said.
Right. I definitely think that I know that the FBI is helping them, and I would like to ask the FBI to help them better, more with, obviously keep doing what you're doing forensically and all that. You're doing great. But there's got to be an FBI, somebody there that is like a media liaison that can help them with their press conferences so they know what to say and what not to say. Because I think in the early beginning, they just didn't really know
They got
what
caught
to
off guard
say.
a lot.
Yeah,
A
they
victim
did.
advocate would help anything at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
Well, and if you remember too, in the first few press conferences, the ones where they were like inside and doing it, I think it's like the first and the second, every time that they got a question that was even remotely off limits to him, his face just turned beet red and he like started talking faster. And like
Yeah.
you could tell what questions made him uncomfortable and which didn't. And that's almost a tell in itself. Like,
Right.
why is that question like, okay, obviously there's something surrounding this where he has to be careful with what he's going to say.
Right.
So,
Well, I think that happens in almost every case. Like, even with Athena, right when the news broke, right? When we got the sad news and there was the press conference. You could see the the law enforcement officer that was speaking and giving out the details, and you could see when his face would tense up when a reporter would ask him a question that was clearly going to be part of the investigation. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think this guy is just more demonstrative with his facial expressions than, and again, I think when you have a crime of this magnitude, especially considering that the other two people, thankfully, right, that were in the home were not harmed at all. Like, this isn't like when Ted Bundy, rampaged through the sorority.
Mm-hmm.
The only people that were unharmed were the people who weren't there. He got, he attacked everybody. So I think this is a shocker,
And I also
think,
oh,
go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, if you weren't done, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I want the answers too, but I'm one of those people that waits, that likes the trial, because when the trial happens, everything comes out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, I'm willing to be patient because I know we're going to get the answers. You know what? It's just going to take a while. I know it's hard. That's why I kind of like, I'll come on Teresa's panel and discuss open cases, but I don't really talk about them that much on my channel.
Yeah.
It's tough. And plus when it gets to this certain point, it's when it just gets really hard to do, because I mean, like, look, I asked the question and the chat is so full of so many different comments about about hearsay and rumors. Duty, Ron, and Ed said that that Dylan lawyered up, that's where that came from. I don't watch everything that they do. I watch a lot, but I don't watch everything, and I didn't hear that from them. I'd be curious what their source was.
I feel like they're very good at making sure things are.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to trust in their information, but I need a source. I need a source to.
And I'd have to say how they would have said it.
Yeah, like it would make sense that she did or something like that.
Right.
Here's another one, like the whole Dylan did or did not give DNA and has gotten a lawyer. I have no idea if that's real. No idea where that came from. If she. I don't know why she doesn't need to give her DNA. I think we talked about this on the last stream. They have her DNA. She lives in that house. That house is a crime scene. They technically don't need to ask her permission to get anything from that house and get her DNA. But it would make no sense that she doesn't give her DNA.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But at the same time, if I was in her shoes, I'd be getting a lawyer.
I would too. There's nothing. I think people have I think it's a misnomer. So the reason that you would get an attorney isn't because you're guilty. It's because you're talking to you're dealing with two sides of the law. Both of them know the law, right? And you're the only person in the room that doesn't. So wouldn't you rather, like, as if you have an attorney and you're being interrogated, there's three people in the room, including you, right?
Yeah.
So why would you want to be the only, if you don't understand the law, then wouldn't you want somebody to explain it to you? That is what an attorney is there for.
Yeah.
But there was something else I was going to say, but then I forgot.
Do you guys know if the other girls were in the sorority as well?
They were. So Bethany is actually Maddie's little.
Yeah.
I didn't know if both of them were. I knew that, but I didn't know if
They
Dylan
are.
was
They're
as
both
well.
in the same fraternity as Maddie. Kaylee was the only one in the other fraternity.
Sorority.
Or sorority, sorry. I read fraternity in chat and then I just stuck with it. Yeah. So the other girls were all in the same sorority, and then Kaylee was in a different one. And Betty Jo, I think you asked me up above if I have the press conference where law enforcement says that it was the roommate was they thought the second floor victim was unconscious. They don't say roommate. I need to be very clear on how I say it. The second floor victim was unconscious. It's actually on their website, and it's part of their press release that they do every day where they add the information to it. It's on there. It's in black and white, like verbatim right there. FYI. So I don't have it like right here with me to show you, but it's written. They have it written on part of their like facts of the case.
And what I was also with the police chief, I wonder, just thinking about it after we were just talking about it, that if after those first few press conferences he realized how readable his face is, and that's why he smiles now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's trying to force it so that he can't be read as easily.
Right.
Oh, maybe.
That's a good. I remembered what I wanted to say. So I said that if there was a trial, everything would come out, right? And then I can't remember who said it in the comments, but not if there's like a plea deal, right? That's not necessarily true. There are oftentimes that one of the caveats to a plea deal is what's called an allocution, where you must make a statement. So you have to tell what you did. And I can't imagine a circumstance surrounding this case where that would not be required. Or the other thing that could potentially happen is if there were more than one perpetrator, right, and one rolled on the other, then they have to testify. But before they testify, they're recorded, right, and so their statement, they have to give a true statement, and when they testify, they have to tell the truth too. So even if either way, at some point when this is all said and done, we're going to know what happened, whether it's a plea deal or not.
Yeah. I just, it's fascinating to try to put the pieces together, even though we absolutely don't have even half of the pieces. I don't know. I don't know why our minds want to do that, but it's just like how it works.
But I think what's happened is because we have some pieces, right, but not all the pieces, and certainly not enough, in my opinion, at this point, to actually state that somebody is a suspect or should be a suspect. Is it okay to say things like, at this point, everybody should be being looked at, but I don't think anybody should. I don't think it's a good idea to be saying so-and-so should be a suspect or this person should be a suspect. I think everybody should be a suspect until they're not, right? Until they can be ruled out.
And I also think the police should be putting out necessarily who's not a suspect and who is. I think that was one of the big mishaps here too. Like, yeah, it's interesting for us to be like, okay, well, that person's ruled out. But now every single person that's not put on that list, everyone's like, oh, well, they haven't been ruled out.
I think they stopped.
I know, but I mean, if you're just looking into the case.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like, people don't realize they stopped doing that.
Right. So that's why my point is I'm agreeing. Example of like, it's better if you just wouldn't have said anything at all.
Yes. You're right. No, you're right. Like it would have been better for them not to say anything.
Yeah, and
And
we're following all the leads. We are well aware of everyone that's being talked about, but at this time we're not able to tell you who's been cleared and who hasn't, and leave it at that.
exactly. And I think as human beings, what's happened is that we're trying to put this puzzle together, and we don't, like I said, we don't even have all four corners, for Pete's sake. We're not even there yet. We don't even have the edges done. And so our minds, when we hear things and see things, we start to try to put the puzzle pieces together, which is, depending on how you do it, can actually be very harmful to a case. I just know for myself, I picture a case like a marathon. So the finishing of the marathon would be at the end of a trial, right? So at this point, we're at like the maybe 2.5 mile mark. We've got like 24 to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wouldn't want to do, this is why I don't usually like cover open cases, because you never know what you may inadvertently do. You can go in it with the best of intentions, but I'm always worried that something I say in passing, oh, well, such and such, just like a flip remark.
Yep.
Somebody in my audience might take that and just, and I don't want to be responsible for fucking up a case.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like, don't go telling everybody you heard that here. Like, I don't want you guys, like, don't tell anybody that. Like,
yeah.
When I screw something up, I'm like, I don't want you guys out in the world going, oh, well, I heard over here, this, that, and the other. And then it's like totally like false information.
Right. Like you have to keep in mind that it doesn't really matter what channel you're watching at this point. To be honest with you, the only people that know what the hell happened in that house are law enforcement. And that's it. Not even the families know
exactly what happened yet.
Well, I mean, they know who was where and all that stuff. They don't know all the things yet, but they're the only ones who know what the crime scene looked like, which is very, very important. But it's not the most important.
Whole crime scene, because I mean, potentially the other roommates could have seen the first floor or the second floor, but you never know. That's the point, is potentially there's more than law enforcement that does know the whole scene.
Right.
But, like, it's just the aspect of no one knowing anything and none of us actually potentially needing to know anything.
Exactly.
And I find it very interesting, and obviously with my schooling and stuff like that, I understand it completely. But the aspect of telling police that they work for the public and that we deserve transparency and all this stuff, but then at the same time, like, you can't be totally transparent when you're trying to get a case to trial and make it go through.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I find that like the back and forth between that very interesting, and especially in recent years of like, you guys have to release this. Like, even 5 years ago, I can't even remember ever seeing a body camera. I mean, now of course they're everywhere, but like, or like people doing their own FOIA requests or something like that. Like, just the fact that the public is so adamant about everything being out there. It's like I'm both for it and against it in a way, because I understand where police are coming from, but I also understand, but I just find it wild.
Right.
Like things you would expect only police to be able to do. We realize now that it's not just police that can do that, and then people, just normal regular people, are able to do it and get it.
Right.
Which is
and
nuts.
I think it isn't, well, yeah, because information in the wrong hands can be a very bad thing. Like, but even like in an open case, that's where law enforcement has the upper hand. And I'm all for transparency, but I think transparency, for me anyway, comes at the point of the trial, because that's when the way that the American justice system, that's where our checks and balances system, that's why they stream trials, because it used to be, you could go sit in them, and you still can, but now because we have new technology, things have changed, yada, yada, yada. And and after a trial is over, you can FOIA request the entire discovery. You won't get the entire discovery because the judge and the prosecutor will sit down and decide what's going to go, what's in the public's best interest, and that's what they'll let you, that's what you can get at a FOIA request. But still, like,
Yeah.
and I think people like talking about true crime on YouTube, especially because a lot of people are leery of the mainstream media because they do have a really they have for such a long time been able to influence the way we think about true crime cases, about criminal cases. Like if you look at the what is it called? The Yuppie, was it Yuppie Killer? Jennifer Levin and what was that kid's name? Okay, so what happened with that case is she started out in the media as a victim. When he lawyered up as part of the discovery, because it was part of the investigation, his attorneys got a hold of her journal and they leaked it to the media. This was a 19, 20-year-old girl, 19 or 20-year-old girl.
She was 18.
She wrote down her most intimate thoughts in that journal, and it was laid bare for the world to see. And it turned, before you knew it, people were judging her.
Yeah.
And that's media influence. And I think that was the premise of YouTube, is to be able to counteract that in a way. But now we're out of control again.
The preppy.
Yeah, I'll throw out my example of how irritated I have been recently with the Casey Anthony documentary. I'm not going to go too far down it because I'm going to do a whole separate thing on Casey Anthony when I'm a little bit calmer about the situation.
Okay.
But the fact that people are buying a narrative that is purposely being sold to you is the exact reason that I hate mainstream media. And even as much as I've always been a big Dateline or 2020 watcher or anything along those lines, they do not tell you. And I guess I always knew that, but when we got all the information on on the Watts case and I had it, I mean, I knew it like the back of my hand. Like, I mean, I could tell you what page of Discovery shit was on. Like, I can't now because I pushed all that out. But when they would do any type of documentary or 2020 or anything on that case, I'm like, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. And I cannot watch them the same. I watch them now more as entertainment, but I do not watch them for research or fact-based opinions on shit. And the people who are taking the Casey Anthony fucking special and trying to victimize her, I can't even talk about it. I'm so angry.
Yeah.
I'll have to hit you up out of here offline because I want to talk to you about that.
I can't. I watched every piece of evidence that was released from that case. I watched every single thing that woman did, every single lie that woman told, and the fact that anybody even wants to say it, I can't. Like I said, I can't. I'll just get all upset. But that woman is guilty.
She's the worst human.
She's not
ever.
guilty in a court of law, but
yeah,
she is living a life that she does not deserve to be living. And you'll never change my mind. I do not give a shit how many documentaries that woman does. That woman unalived her child intentionally and got away with it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll say the forensic psychologist in me definitely had red flags watching it. And I think it all started with, at the very beginning, opening scene where they're like, so why are you doing this without any creative control?
That was me too, right?
Don't give me your bullshit.
Yeah, she's not going to go on there if she doesn't have say about what you're going to put in.
Well, right. Not only that, but you could tell just moving forward through the whole 3 episodes, it was skewed. They were softball questions. They never pressed her on any of the hard things. And I don't think they should even be able to call it a docuseries.
They should not have even done it. It was disrespectful to Kaylee to begin with.
Yeah.
I want to do something that'll make her proud. Why don't you tell the truth,
I get that
Casey?
the trial was a mess. I get that they screwed up. There's a lot of mistakes that were made. And I think that it's for anybody who wants to go to school to be a lawyer, I think there's a lot of things that could be learned from that trial. on things not to do and things that to look out for that a defense attorney can do that you need to be prepared for. I think the prosecutors lost that case. The way that, but like I said, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But I just can't. You cannot just buy into what anybody's selling. Don't buy into what I'm selling. No matter who it is, do your own research, ask for sources. Any community post I put up, I try to give you a source for anything I ever have, that you guys know exactly where you could go find the information that I'm telling you. It frustrates me when I am looking for information that I see on somebody else's, stuff, and I can't figure out where the hell they got it from. Just like, where did it come from? Just tell me where it
Right.
came from, even if it's a Reddit source. So I at least know I can go back to that Reddit, find their sources, and so on and so forth. Like, you have to be able to fact check. Otherwise, all this is just, so Jackass is in Africa and he's, he was driving Ethan and Xana home. Where the hell is your proof of that? Just give me a source so I can go and figure out if I want to believe that source or not. That's all I ask.
I think that it comes down to responsible, ethical reporting on these cases. And I agree with you, Teresa. A source is the most important. Like, even like you got, most people in here, well, maybe not most people because your chat's huge tonight, but when Teresa and I first were buds, most people in the chat would have known that I have covered the West Memphis 3 extensively. I've been researching that case for over 20 years now.
Right.
But I will tell you exactly where in the case file it's available. And the entire case file is public. And when I talk about the stuff I talk about, it's what I am interpreting from the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Your perspective may be completely different, and that's okay. But I'll tell you where to go look so you can see it for yourself and read it for yourself. I can't read you every document from Callahan's. I can't. I mean, I suppose I could, but I would never do anything else. The case file's huge.
Right.
So I think it's important to, and there's nothing wrong with like trying to figure out, like when we were discussing earlier in the stream, the 911 call, why have they not released it, and possible reasons. Those are possible reasons. That's just what I think. It doesn't mean that, please don't take that for fact. I'm not in law enforcement's head. And even if I was psychic and could read law enforcement's mind, I would be using my psychic abilities to win the lottery and then like read other people's minds. First, I'd want the lottery numbers because I want to read people's minds from a comfortable villa on an island somewhere away from humans. Also, I wish that I had known that Mallory was a forensic psychologist, because I'm sure I don't want to be analyzed. I'm telling you right now, I'll tell you what my diagnosis is. I'm a mess. I say all kinds of crazy shit. I'm a mess.
I say what I say, and I mean what I say.
Right. I'm a mess, but I'm honest mess.
I'm not focused on you. Don't worry.
You're more than welcome to analyze me. Somebody needs to figure this shit out before it's too late. Let me just tell you.
Analyze me, but I don't want any bad news. If it turns out I'm like a raging psychopath,
and tell me.
Yeah, and then you analyze Teresa and tell me.
That sounds like a good setup.
And then maybe one day we'll meet in real life. And
we've already been on for over 3 hours. Like, holy crap.
It doesn't seem like that long.
No, I know. It's like
because we spent an hour watching what's his face twirl his sticks without pants on.
Listen. His pants
That was
were
the best
on.
part of my night.
They were
mesmerized by fire.
They were on. They were just in different locations on the lower half of his body at different points in the video.
His hips don't lie.
I'm telling you, I think that he should be looked at. I think that he's in the vicinity and he's of the right profile. Does that mean he's guilty? No. So don't go run out and say that he's guilty. I'm not saying the guy's guilty. Do I think that he should be looked at? Absolutely.
And then if he comes out all like cleared from any of this, I honestly, if he put on a show somewhere, I'd go see it.
I would. I'm gonna follow him on Instagram, but if you guys noticed in chat earlier though, somebody said he was following Maddie on Instagram and nobody else that lived in the house. Just Maddie.
But then I heard that he was. Someone else wrote, no, he's not. So I'm not sure. Let's
Oh,
check.
I heard both. Well, I mean, it should be easy to figure out.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. Well, we could just go look at it.
I found.
So
I had it. I still had it up.
somebody that should be looked at. You guys can go say that over on Criminality, they're now blaming the new guy. I'll be honest with you.
I love him. I don't know.
We
If
were
he
looking at this guy 8
involved-
days in, so we just didn't know who he was.
And there's and there could be keep this in mind too. There could be a very innocent explanation for why he's only following Maddie. What if he requested the other people in the house and they said no? Maddie was the only one who was like, okay, accept.
I feel bad for the guy, or I like his fire skills.
I do.
You know, right, exactly.
So I think that like I said, I mean, I think everybody needs to be looked at until they're proven innocent, or they can
Exactly.
verify an alibi and then you walk away. But dang, man, we've had over 400 in chat almost all night. That is amazing. I'm actually quite surprised. Honestly, it's a Friday night. It's hopping on YouTube. I can't thank you guys enough for staying and hanging out here on my channel. And mean what you say, Mallory, Jen Lou, Michelle. I know you're not here anymore. You had to go pick up your child, but I thank you guys for hanging out and giving me your insights, and a bunch of intelligent people. I enjoy spending my time talking to you guys about true crime. It's literally why I even have a channel, is to be able to talk true crime with people that I feel like bring stuff to the table and make me think outside my box, and enjoy watching fire dancing together. So this has
Fire
been a
sticks and boxes. What a night.
fire sticks and box. I appreciate every single one of you guys for spending your Friday night here. If you guys are interested in doing some more coverage of the Idaho Four, I know Brittany was about to go live, or may already have been live. I'm not sure.
I think he is.
But you guys hop on over there. I'll probably pop into chat for a minute. I have to go finish this silly paper. Kate Does Crime. She's got amazing coverage. If you guys aren't subscribed to her channel, you really should be. There's so many good people in here. Jen Lou, I dropped Jen Lou's link a little bit ago.
Oh, wow,
Parker
thank
was in
you.
here earlier. You've got ATS, CDT. Those are two of my faves that I like to hang out with. But once again, I just appreciate you guys taking the time to spend the evening with me and share your information.
And
Thank you for having me.
So I'm
What
either
did you say, Mal?
Brits or Mouse. I don't have a channel. I don't plan on getting a channel. So if you want to find me, you'll have to watch them.
You can either hang out here or you can hang out on Brit's channel.
Yeah, one of the two.
So, like I said, Jen Lou does a great job covering trials and doing these incredible roasts. If you guys are looking for a good laugh, yeah, that's the place to be. She's always got something. She's always got something fun to say. And mean what you said. You don't have a channel, right? You just hang out and chat.
Yeah, I just kind of hop around on Brittany's and everybody else's. I kind of like, I found Brittany first, but then I've been like skipping around to all the people she recommends, which is how I ended up here. So thank you for having me tonight.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, I dropped it, and BR the Star dropped it, and then I don't have. I think. Give me a second, and I think I actually have. Is this her live? I'll drop it here too, so you guys can go on over there. This is she is currently live now. Kate Does Crime is going to be live, she said, tomorrow on this topic. Let me grab her channel real quick for you guys. Shit, I just closed on my YouTube, didn't I? Sure did.
Hey, Teresa, I gotta hop down, babe. Thank you so much for having me.
Jen, no
Message
way,
you and
man.
that
Thank you so
weird-
much for coming up. You are amazing, and I love you to pieces.
I love you to pieces. It was good to meet you too, Mallory. Now we need to have somebody else. You're off the scapegoat list, Mallory. I like you. I'm gonna have to figure out somebody else to blame.
Yeah. I just roll with the punches at this point.
That's all you can really do, babe. All right. Bye, you guys. Thank you so
like
much
I said,
for having me.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out and spending your Friday up here, hanging out with us. And Mal, thank you so much. I know you'll probably be hopping over there, so we'll see you on the flip side.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.